picture you want? Like you come on the. I turned on Briar Glen because Midland. Yeah, it's like a little breezeway thing.
Yeah, Briar Glen and take a
Because
left.
Christian said she got lost too.
Okay.
What freeway they coming up from? Cause does it come off 16, make the right on Briar Glen, straight to right?
I know that's right.
Made a right.
She said
round
that
up to
she could get the
34.
instructions or something like that. I don't know.
Where she at?
She said she parked by my car. Who? You said about you had a question about your car?
I just wanna see what the notes look like at the bottom. Cause we're gonna stand up there.
You want to read them or you want like how the notes are like in the slideshow? Show presented. I don't know how to say it. Like how you set it up with the notes. I've never had to do that usually.
Yeah, I wish I would've done it.
Show presented. No notes. Okay, maybe like that. But I think that's how it's gonna come up on the screen. Okay. This person.
Cause my phone is on my phone. I don't send that in notes. And we're not gonna be sitting here presenting from the computer. I wish we could.
I was gonna say rude. You're a whole
Yeah, mine.
Cause he is.
Cause he is.
They said it, so. Yeah.
Bro, why would you think I would answer?
I know, it was more dancing.
I was on the next, like, learning to know my phone's in right here, and I still. It's gonna look like that. That's the only way I can think of for it to look.
Who's gonna get it?
Yeah, but it's like a whole software thing. Like, it's a website. It's like, it's software website you got.
No,
Oh, you saying so you can look at it?
Yeah.
Why do you do like?
Do you want my phone?
I'm just like.
It won't pull up on the phone. Like when I pull the PowerPoint up on the phone, but those parts won't show up.
I was like, I got Microsoft Office and
The app? You a professional.
I was gonna say.
I became on the phone.
I have it, but it won't pull up.
Oh, well, they got the iPhones, we don't.
I was like, I
It's
came
on
on
my
the
own.
phone. And I usually when I
It
get
comes
stuff
with
at
it,
work,
like, it comes with it.
I just signed into my office.
I'll probably delete
I do
it.
it all the way.
Really? I don't know, I think I'm a paper person, so. Cause I ain't gonna do no PowerPoint, but then I was like, I should probably do a PowerPoint.
That's my niece, Jasmine, my sister Joyce. It's Christian. Sorry, Christian, how you doing?
Well, mine was like, you got mine? Oh, okay. As
It's
long
up
as you
already.
got it.
All of them, all three of them are up.
That's the best, I can do Google Sheets. Or whatever it is, Google, what you know?
Google Docs.
No, what's their, PowerPoint
Jesus,
slides?
they're-
Yeah.
Google slides, and I ain't know how to make one in Canva.
Thank you. You know, sleepy, hungry, thirsty.
Heavy on the hungry.
See, right, that's Starbucks cup.
She didn't text me and ask me if I.
Christian got this for me. I'm like, child.
Look, this is what, that was the one job I had today.
She ain't
That was
no
the only
other
job.
That's the lightest job she ever had.
light work.
Like, ever.
When y'all ever seen Christian not do
That's
this?
why I was like, it's the lightest work.
That's
why
why
I'm
I'm
screenshot
Look,
it.
that's why I'm tired. Christian.
No, I'm just writing it. I'm writing those down.
Oh, Christian, I'm probably gonna get the key to the new place today instead of Monday.
Wait, sorry.
Probably gonna get the keys to the new apartment today instead of Monday. Yeah, once I saw my car, I was
like, hey,
The lady said it was something. She don't bring it or?
she wanna hook up. Cause I told her I come get it for you.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask her. I could have used the other one.
No, she wanna hook up. So I'm gonna start moving stuff. Not like big stuff, just like little stuff.
So what I'm gonna do is,
But, and I think, what I really wanna go check the mail, oh, it's on live by the way. But I really wanna go check, you gonna have to do it on your phone, cause I don't know if anybody else. Well, that's it.
hey,
What's up,
Tamika?
Hey, Tamika. What's up? The exterminators are coming Monday, but what I need to do is go over there to get in the mailbox, cause I need to go to Nelson and Jean. To get my financing card, give it to Kimberly and Kelsey. Tell them to give me one when people come in. Cause I'm like, this peel off. Cause I had printed one for y'all, but I printed one.
Is it Wi-Fi in here?
Yeah, the Wi-Fi is on the phone, sorry. It's on the table. It's little stickers on the table.
You can make sure you want to, you can
The phone?
Yeah, you don't have to move it right now.
Okay.
It'll show up.
And then,
So you want me to keep this phone or you saying take that phone?
You can take this,
Okay.
you can have it right now, but like you can present it.
Okay. I don't know what I just did. I'm just supposed to.
you gotta do it out of the way. Okay. He said, is Yoshi? Yoshi. Hard. It's one.
So maybe on yours, maybe yours can now. Oh, what is it?
Ain't it Elsa? Or do people say Elsa? Do people say Elsa or Elsa?
The L said, L said.
Tamika, I'm trying to get on so I can see you, girl. So I can talk to you, girl. I ain't know, I'm here. I had one job today. Miranda, did you get your card? Oh, ain't nobody watching now. What does it mean when it say one waiting?
What's this, Zoom?
YouTube.
Oh, she must got
It's
she got
on.
it scheduled? Like, is it live yet?
No, it's live already. It's live now.
It was scheduled originally.
It said one waiting when I was on
It's cause originally I did schedule it on StreamYard and then forgot I scheduled it on StreamYard, so I went in and deleted it. But there's a setting where you have to show like all messages, like live chat instead of top chat. No, I ain't had a chance. Did I get mine? Is that Tamika too?
Tamika. And it's no code on there. It's no code on there. It's no code on there, so
Oh, okay.
just swipe it.
She just gave me a different phone.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. So you're gonna get this still delivered on Monday?
What, the movies?
No, message.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to go today, so I can buy it and then have it delivered on Monday. You know what I'm saying? Versus trying to go in there on Monday, because I ain't got time to go in there on Monday. And I need my, like, everything set except for my bed.
Okay, so know, but I'm saying, what are you gonna move some stuff?
Yeah, I probably, move, I'm gonna go by there today, cause they dropped Amazon pages off in the registry, cause I changed the address, so I'm gonna go by there today. If I happen to bring like little stuff, I probably will, but other than that, yeah, it's gonna be tomorrow.
Are you in the parking lot?
Cause I'm moving my own pieces.
Alright, time, right?
And tomorrow, at the
What
church,
you on the street with?
I just want over there, help you.
Yeah, cause some of this, the movers take a lot of big stuff. I'm taking like my computers, probably like some of my clothes, like little stuff that I don't want them messing with, like definitely my computers, like my all the office stuff. And then Shane got to put together the desk and get the bed. We gotta pick up the bed. So that's why I'm gonna have access to it, cause he's working on it. So I'm gonna have him do it. Yeah, right. I'm gonna have him
And
do
you
it.
got the.
I know, it's levels. It's levels. Oh, it was a cone set. You was on the back side.
Oh, okay.
You
So
went around, you still on the
I
street
ain't
with
gonna
a
Tuesdays,
cone
I'm
book?
gonna unbox it on Monday. Unless I, but those I'm actually probably just gonna open and just show them. But everything else I'm not. Cause I'm gonna go live on Monday and do like open up. But except for the big stuff, that you can do.
I'm good tomorrow. I know, I was like, I like this here.
Oh.
Cheers, man.
Hello, there. Oh, y'all can push the table.
I mean, I've seen you like 5 years.
Cause I ain't seen you in forever. I feel like I talk to you more all the time. Don't take that personal, you know. Okay, I'm trying not to. No, please don't. I love you. I was just like, hey everyone. You should see the look on my face. I was like, oh, I'm just like, don't take that personal, please don't.
So where do you want me or?
That's you right there. Oh, and I brought you CTM collar shirt.
Okay. I'm putting it on now or?
No, I just brought it because we had it.
Yeah, they had been in my trunk for a while. I live in West. I got here and realized I ain't in my glasses.
Girl, I was coming to the side of the freeway.
Can you see?
Yeah.
You know, like,
I mean, it ain't bad, you know.
I was gonna say, your glasses even prescribed.
Like right now, like I can see the TV real good, but it's like a slight blur on stuff that's kind of far away. It's like,
See, I can't.
you in the wilderness a little bit.
but I was let's see, at like 3 o'clock in the morning, I was crying for everything.
House life.
I was not crying.
I think
Something hurt so bad.
But I mean, you on the left side too, right? Steve?
Drive leg hand. I ate like 5 seconds. Leg hands on myself and walking myself to sleep. By 5 o'clock in the morning, I was in the bed. I'm gonna run to bed.
Yes. The rest of the world.
It's just like it came out of nowhere. But it felt like, you know, like when you take medicine, it's kind of like it hurt real bad.
That's why.
But I didn't take no medicine.
Exactly. Exactly. And it fell on the side.
That's
I
what it
probably
felt
won't
like.
even
So
say
it was
that.
like,
I was saying, I know you said
it was,
you
yeah, I fell asleep before I did. So I didn't take none, but man, it was real bad. That's what it felt like. And I ain't had no bread or nothing. So I made bread, like soak it up. I ain't had no bread. I was just like, whoops, so much for that.
How's your mom? Oh. Fine.
I didn't
Let's
think
go
it
back
was
like
it wasn't public. My devil said didn't make it public.
Yeah,
I made
she
it unlisted.
was trying to
The
get
line.
a chaplain.
But Tamika got the mail.
And they offered it to her, but what she realized was that.
Because I was trying to get her on my
Social security check.
Oh.
And they were paid. Yeah.
Oh, is that why? Like, is somebody waiting?
Right, because you don't have the link, so now when they come back in, it wasn't
So
public,
she
so
said
that's
she
why I
wanted
kind
to
of.
do like volunteer donation based type thing, and she didn't want to be full time.
Okay,
So I
nice.
think they was
Now you
paying
see.
like 4,000. And then, I was like, and that's some pretty expensive. Oh, I see the information. And then you have to take a course or something.
I wasn't saying this was
I don't even want to go back and get my
Yeah,
license.
it's there, that's what she wants to do. So my mom, she was a pastor for like 18 years, and then she retired, and so she looked for something to do just to keep herself busy. And she's like, cause I can only work
Hey,
a couple of hours.
Correct. Okay, we're going to that.
So I worked out today and I hurt my knees. I was like, what's my knee brace on? I did, yeah. That's why I was struggling trying to straighten this up on the freeway. Ironically, you know, why the traffic was stopped for the accident. I'm thinking like, just move it over here, you know, so a little one soon we come through. Lord, Tuesday.
Well, how you tell me which movie you doing?
Squatting too low. You want the honest answer? Trying to test my 41-year-old knees and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I started like doing boot camp, you know, a little
Okay.
entrepreneur self-care.
Okay.
And yeah, you know, I don't know, it's a little bit weighted squats. It's like, uh-oh. Well, but you just, yeah, with the free weights. So just pulling back and taking it out. It's like, oh, okay.
So how long have you been working out?
This is actually a week and a half.
Okay.
So I'm proud of myself for being
Absolutely.
consistent. Because at first when I was like, they're like, good job, see you Wednesday. And I was like, yeah. And then like there's a group and so they text you to see how you're doing and stuff. I was like,
Is that okay?
can I come back to you? Yeah, so
I did. I gotta work out later today.
I'm trying to get better. You know, the doctor was like, you have to come on. So like no other issues, just like I was just
I was gonna wait and just be something different.
right.
You know, why is it so hard?
He said something. You know, you're doing good. You just need to lose a couple of pounds. I'm working on it. Give me what I got.
Then when you plateaued in his life, am I really working out with him?
Yeah, I was proud of you because you was getting in. You was motivating me.
Well,
What's up with college?
he's 11.
And what does that mean for you?
He's an old man, so he's like 70.
I know, so what does that mean for you?
I get weary every day because I probably got to wait like about 4 more years. His brain probably lives to like 15, 14.
Yeah.
So I don't have much longer. So he was snoring the other day and I woke up and was like, is this heavy breathing or is this noise? Because it sounded different. There's something rattling in your chest, like, so now all I'm thinking is, because I'm beating my well and he's over before me.
Come on now. That's why I was like, what does that look like for you? I got in council mode because, I mean, in dog years, if we translate the reality of, you know, preparation, you know,
I'm not prepared to put him down if it comes to that.
transition preparation is what it's called.
I'm not, so if he has to put down, I just cannot make that call.
Well, maybe not even put down, but I mean, the reality, you know, lifespan.
I can accept.
Would you get another dog or you thought you'd be done?
No. I feel like if I find him dead, I will be sick, but I will be okay. If I have to choose to put him down, because he would have to go through the last place.
Yeah, no, I understand. That happened to our rehab and he got hit. And they were just saying like, first of all, we had money for the surgery, but they were just saying like the surgery just wouldn't, he would still be disabled. I guess the dog would say, whatever. Yeah. So then I was like, oh, okay, so. I just left, like, I didn't want to. I just left. Cause I just couldn't. I mean, I had a lot of things, but I think that was it for me. I was like, you know, it's like, that was supposed to be the name I take care of my own.
I had to stay to the end and I had to holler the whole time.
And I was here. I just was just like, you remember, just like I would with any type of grief. I like to pick the highest point of when someone was in their best place, and that's the memory I like to keep in my head. That's why I really like a lot, and I don't like to sign like, yeah. unless I feel like I'm at peace,
Is
like
this-
I really want to
is that
come
your phone?
into the group stages,
That's
but
what you call me.
if I'm not
And I'm
there,
calling her.
you know,
I hate everyone. First of all, I hate everyone. One, because everybody's weird and
I still want to be a mortician.
Tamika, did you message Brooklyn? I sent him the wrong link.
I have the notes on the phone. I was thinking maybe I would be able to put the notes in my presentation, but the way it's set up, oh, so that's what I gave you the phone.
Oh, no, something.
Like our presentation is just like, okay, I'm just stand out there and present that way.
Oh, okay.
What I said was on top. I'm the first one.
There's some slides I'm skipping. Oh, keep it in the 20 minutes.
Not every day.
Oh, really?
No, not everything. I'm the first in the dog. You know, your generation, I'm not saying your generation. Your generation, last thing I want is someone making me think about money only. May I sing that the dude you said was your
Hold on.
He's talking about I'm black.
Okay, I sent Brooklyn the old one. Tamika, text me and what address you used to send them, or where'd you send them to?
Snow first will start to come down when they finish getting
And I literally told her, I was like, this better be mine. You was getting dressed, and I was like, this better be mine.
Places I've heard of.
my head of my city, and then I came to Texas, and I would go back, I'm like, it's really exciting. And now that I can go so long, I'm like,
baby church.
it's not, it's really,
Okay, what's the one, what's the
I asked him to. I asked him the same question.
all of it. But you know, you have your.
Thank you, babe. I've been waiting for it.
Different cities right outside of the city, Indianapolis, so Indianapolis is the city. You have your
Talking about these gone.
It's exclusive.
We
Indianapolis,
bought
like
all
your
his
suburbs.
bricks.
So that's your Katy,
But
Sugar.
Nah, I had a certain
I used to say, you had to sold that fast. I
I
don't know
sold
what
it,
it was.
and I bought like 100.
Okay, so how do I see this? Cause I see you.
Beautiful.
But no, but I see you on, like I see you from.
I thought about you because.
No, you gotta go, he always
here,
said, go
I got-
exclusive. I'm
like,
looking
I got 2 different pages.
and one of them is in Indiana.
exclusive. I'm
I thought I followed over.
In Indianapolis.
Yeah, he always say go to exclusive. Cause he got his.
So I need to look and see exactly what the name of the school is, but I just looked at the states and I was like, oh, Lord. Here we go again. Like New Orleans is close, like let me just whatever.
It got the website.
Exactly, that's all I was like. Just pray. They have one in El Paso, so I'm praying for that one.
You can get 15.
The other ones are really,
Where did she get from the city?
over there, she getting money.
She is.
But I'm talking about just going back full-time education and like full-time.
Oh,
Yeah, my first regular on the side. That would give me more, I mean, I do pretty well, but that would be more benefit to be able to help her. And then it'll help me do
that's you? Okay, I was like, cause I kept calling and calling, and I was like, I know it's a different number, but
I forgot my glasses.
it's cause my other phone is on the recorder.
I
Okay,
just,
I'm gonna start off.
my nails ain't done.
No, I do.
I'm just
I'm all over the place, Sean.
go back home.
I forgot my glasses, my hair ain't done.
I say that every year. I forget I look it up.
It's just, here we are.
Definitely
Here we are.
relieve some stress.
So yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I applied for a middle school counselor position just because I feel like that's an
Yeah.
easier.
Anyway, I'm gonna sit in the back and talk to y'all.
Because you need to do more of the therapeutic side.
My job today was to get the coffee. That was it. All I was getting today was coffee. That's it. Oh, thanks, Marissa.
Are you gonna have
I'm beautifully tired today.
transfer for life and mentor within that, but
It's less of that for counseling.
yeah, with middle school, you're teaching like life skills, social emotional skills.
And it makes a lot of sense because they're not quite worried about, you know, the
Yeah.
next stage in life.
So my first year, and then my freshman year, you're like, okay, welcome to fish camp, let's go. What's your degree plan? But you're looking like, I don't know what I want to do. I think I want to be an astronaut. Okay, but you're gonna need this. Yeah, so I was fine with it. I know I didn't want to teach, I didn't want to do elementary. I'm not an emotional, like touchy feeling type. They're like the huggers, and you know you have to tone it down a little bit. It's like, okay, good job. Why are you telling me? You know, type thing. And I was like, yeah, go back and have a seat. You can't hear like 10 times. Really? That's what I thought about you too. Teach elementary. How is that?
After my kids are 6 and 7, so they cry, and I'm like, this is childish. What are you, third, second? Somebody played.
But that's like 10, right? No, that's 5. That's 6.
My oldest is 8.
That's
That's because he's in third.
Oh, so this is like, that's like 6 and 7. Oh, okay. I remember it 7 and 8. Okay, never mind. Really bad. Real bad.
They cried about ice cream. We had a scavenger hunt, and one side, but it's always chips and they lost. Everybody crying because they didn't get chips. And so I think chips too. Why?
And that's what I was saying. I don't want to do elementary counseling. Yeah, I don't want to do elementary counseling because it's a little bit too much for my emotional bandwidth. I'd rather stick with crisis and trauma. Because that's a different type. And then if you go and be more like a mother figure, you know, tie your shoes.
Oh, yeah.
Don't see other people.
Can you talk about shoes? Right here. They might just write down and then
I'm trying to remember, like, second grade, I feel like that was more kindergarten for us. What grade are you in? Oh, okay. I'm an grown up for her age. I feel like she do star people. Like, you over there, like, just have some papers and pencils. Go. Great teacher assistant.
I'm trying, girl. I'm
Giddy. I was like, wow.
They threw the Sharice first. Because you're my business, like. But you know, it's in there though. It's like I gotta warm the crowd.
But then after lunch, people are sleeping.
This newfound motivation, I would say.
Like, they might need a second meeting.
Then,
Because it might be something in there.
okay, what signals do you need to skip slides since I'm allotted for 20 minutes?
You can just look at me or point at me or nod at me.
Thumbs up?
Yeah, thumbs up, yeah.
All right,
gonna keep this up here for right now.
Okay.
I got a picture, but it's not taken. Zach is introducing.
Is Zach, he went right here with the young man that came in. Zach, she's looking for you, baby.
No, let me say it.
Nice. Fancy.
You know, this it's very much so. I'm walking the building and I said, I don't wait under this apparently.
Yeah, nobody really just gave me any specifications, no, but I feel like we look good. And you are so special. Couldn't see second place. Hey, you know how like you gotta get bored, you know what, I always have to go down the road.
And you let him go in the phone and like, what's your
You're not being on, so.
You look at
My boy just came.
I'm glad you have a blazer and a teacher sweater.
and then you Okay, let's get started. Welcome everybody to our first entrepreneurship workshop community. I am the president, founder, and mother of the Turbo Movement, and we are doing this under the David McMahon Entrepreneurship Program. We were awarded an entrepreneurship grant from Collective Action for Youth, where we were able to award Zacky's Henry, say hello, and Carol Trotter. They were they had to go through a pitch competition, so we did do similar to a Shark Tank thing, and they were able to win funding for their business because of this grant. So also as a part of this grant, we are hosting this workshop to give information about entrepreneurship. It's specifically to youth, but adults can also use the same information. But it's statistics show that over 60% of today's generation are becoming entrepreneurs. So we wanted to make sure that we give them the tools to be able to be successful entrepreneurs, and we want to give them as much information as possible, from mental health to law to financials, because there's so many different aspects to entrepreneurship. So I'm going to start with an icebreaker really quick, and I'm going to go around and I want everybody to say their name, and if they have a business, tell us your business. If you don't, then you want to start one, then tell us, like, just, you know, oh, I want to be this, or I want to be that. So I'm going to start with Yoshiko.
Wow. You think I can see that?
You don't have to stand up.
Okay. Hi, everybody. I am Yoshiko. I am an entrepreneur, so I have a consulting firm. I consult with churches, businesses, and community leaders to teach them about domestic violence, to prepare them for when they encounter victims and abusers, actual abusers, what type of steps they should take, rehabilitation, how to safety proof their facilities, just in case abuse happens on their properties. And so I meet with them and just teach them about domestic violence.
Stephanie.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. I am Stephanie Davis. I'm a licensed professional counselor. I specialize in working with youth and young adults who have experienced crisis and trauma, suicide risk and ideation, and just overall anxiety and depression. So I'll talk to y'all about self-care and ways to reduce the stress.
Hello, my name is Therese Martin. But I do wish I want to go into the details of that just yet. But yeah, so, and I'll be presenting on the financial aspect of the business.
How everybody doing? My name is
You stand
Zacchaeus
up.
Henry. I'm Zacchaeus Henry. I'm an owner of Exclusive Outlook and Exclusive Page, which I'm a barber, and I also have my own clothing brand.
Okay.
How everybody doing? My name is Lee, and I have two businesses. One of them is my shoe business. I resell shoes, so if you got any shoes, y'all can.
Get you up.
And then two, I also cut hair too. It's Lee Page on Instagram, and that's it.
Okay. How old are you?
18.
Okay. Lola?
Your name? You have a business? Not yet? What do you want to do, pretty pickles? Where do you work at? You want to sell pickles? You work at Walgreens?
I'm Jasmine, and I don't have a business.
Would you like to?
No, I want to get started.
Nice. Okay.
My name is Latoya Martin. I'm Sharice's big sister. I'm sorry.
That's fine. Mine too.
Yes.
I'm like, don't do me like that. Sorry, come on.
I'm Christian Simmons. I'm the vice president of Trouble Movement. I recently started my journey on becoming a consultant. I know, right?
You see, I was looking
About
at it.
Public relations, business management, and customer service will be my areas of expertise. And yeah, I'm here to learn. And the name of the consulting company is DMPR Consulting. That's what it is. So yeah.
You are super one. Okay, Carol.
Okay,
Thank you.
my name is Carol Schroeder. I have Bill Fabulous Beauty. I do have. Yeah.
What kind of hair?
For the baddies, I remember.
I do have. I specialize in weave extensions.
Okay.
Right about now, we moving into the braids, but we struggling a little bit right now.
That's all right, you got it?
I do have.
Young lady in the back.
I'm Tamika. I do quite a few things. I'm a promoter. I'm a brand ambassador. I make flyers from time to time. I just have my name in the thing.
Okay.
If you want to follow me, it's Nate's Hustle on Instagram.
NAE?
Yeah.
Okay, definitely, because I need some flyers made. So you make flyers? Okay, I need some flyers. TTM needs some flyers made. All right. Yeah, Christian, get the information. Excuse me, ladies in the back.
My name is Kennedy. I currently do not have a business, but I do want to go into photography and graphic design.
Nice. No, ma'am.
My name is Kelsey. I don't really see
What do you want to be when you grow up? Should I put it like that? A history
Well,
teacher.
that's right here to educate yourself.
Ma'am, for that.
I'm Veronica Robinson. I'm the mom to these twins here. I'm a nurse, but I don't think I want to stay in nursing I love what I do, but when retirement comes, I am looking for other options and outlets. And one of the things I would love to look into for some reason is youth that are aging out of the foster care system. So I don't know what that looks like or where to even start, but this is a start coming and listening to figure that out.
Okay, very good. What about you? Oh, me?
Yeah, you need to level.
How much time do I got?
You have a slack.
Well, again, Miranda Evans, founder, president of the Trouble Movement, CEO of Evans Financial Solutions. So I got 2 degrees in accounting. And I have my own accounting business, Evans Financial Solutions. I have my own publishing company, Victorian Publishing. I'm a published author of 3, soon to be 4 books. But I help other people publish their books. So I have those 2 businesses and a nonprofit, and I work as a corporate accountant.
Wow.
And this is my lovely protege. He learned everything he knows from me. Unless he makes a mistake, then he does.
So now I'll be introducing Ms. Stephanie Davis in her presentation. Stephanie Davis is a M.Ed. and she is the CEO of 323 Counseling and Consulting Services. She has a PLCC, known as Hard Work Trending, and is a therapist to young adults and those young at heart, a self-care coach, consultant, and adjacent professions. Ms. Davis serves individuals ages 15 and up. She specializes in seeing clients from concern such as anxiety, depression, grief, loss, trauma, harm, relationship, self-image, adjustment, and life transitions, emotional regulation, social media issues, and academic career advising. Authentic self-care and more. She does it all. Miss Miss Stephanie Davis.
Yes.
She does it all.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. I saw such great visions and felt such great energy in the room as we were sharing. And so we're warmed up, which is a great space to be. And a lot of times when we get into entrepreneurship, we forget about our space that we are in. We're minding our own business and being able to manage our own self-care so that we can continue our success in business. So I'm going to talk to you about that today. All right, so that's just information on me, but you can get that later because I want to make sure I'm in the time slide. Okay, so workshop goals are basically for you to increase your self-confidence and self-awareness in you, right? And then what you want to do. Some of us have some ideas, but we're like, it's still brewing in there. I'm going to put a pause on it. But making you more self-aware and self-confident. And then creating mindset moves to develop a positive and productive life in your business and your personal life. And then the last thing is the action thing is for you to develop a realistic self-care plan to manage your stress by changing your thoughts and your emotions. Okay, so this is not virtual, so skip number 3. Okay, so what is self-care anyway?
Doing something for yourself.
Okay, doing something for yourself. You raise your hand, so you gotta say something.
Taking care of yourself.
Okay.
Shopping.
Shopping, okay. A little maintenance there, all right. Next slide. All right, so everybody has different ways that we either, so to speak, fill our cup or that we take care of ourselves, right? The importance of that is that you don't avoid, that you want to avoid burnout or frustration or just sometimes our dreams fizzle out because we fizzle out, right? So there are 5 areas of self-care that you want to make sure that you align yourself in. Sometimes you may need more than the other, but the top 5 areas are physical self-care, physiological self-care, that has to do with emotions and mental self-care, your spiritual self-care, social self-care, and professional self-care. That's going to be school, work, and business because everybody is in different places in terms of what professionalism looks like. All right, so which one do y'all practice the most?
Spiritual and physical.
Okay.
Physical and spiritual.
Okay, anybody else?
For me, it's professional, so make sure I create those boundaries within my professional career.
Okay, good, I like that. All right, so most of us practice 1 or 2 more than the other. And so think, for example, if you're just focused on your professional self-care, you tend to be like a workaholic, a perfectionist. You like to get things done. Sometimes you work over hours, like you say, you don't have boundaries. Sometimes you miss social self-care, time with friends.
I don't have to.
You might miss your spiritual time, like you might miss Bible study or church because you're like, no, I got to get this done by deadline. You tend to work over hours. All right, so what happens is if you're like A1 here and you don't do nothing up here, what is that for you?
A feeling great.
Right, you're not doing too hot. And at some point, you're going to be like, man, forget this job, right? And then you're going to start being thirsty in these areas because you're going to put all your energy into one. Next slide. Okay, we're going to skip. All right, so entrepreneurship or the idea of entrepreneurship, just kind of getting those wheels turning, will look like this. This might be if you have a team or if you anticipate having a team or think if you're in school, what your team looks like. You got people running errands, you got this person thinking about what's next, or maybe they're on deadline. This person is right here typing away, this person's yelling. You see the time clock here, this person's rushing, bright idea right there, and she's carrying the load, right? Imagine if you are a solo entrepreneur. what does that all look like for you?
All you.
Right. What is the feeling that you get?
Sometimes overwhelmed.
Overwhelmed, you're gonna be anxious, you might miss some important commitments, if you have things going on with school, you're not able to balance your time too well, you're tired all the time, you got an attitude with people, sometimes your physical self-care is affected because you don't eat like you need to, because you just be like, chop, 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 right? So what we wanna do is balance that out, all right? Next slide. So there are 3 cycles of self-care and ways for you to maintain balance. Remember, there's no such thing as normal, because normal looks different to everyone at this point in life, especially with the pandemic and all of that. So what you want to identify is what are your areas that you operate in deficit. That means that you don't practice it at all, or you're like running on fumes. Once you figure that out, you can maintain it. So say, for example, you work all the time, you might go to church all the time, but you don't take care of your physical health. That could be appointments, that could be working out on a regular basis, eating healthy meals. You kind of negate that area. You want to figure out where you are lowest in capacity in, and then you want to maintain it. Once you figure that out, you want to continue to monitor it, and then you don't want to fall off once you get it together. You want to keep managing it, all right? You might have a question so far, because I feel like I'm talking a lot. Okay, so a way to manage that is to manage your mindset. Everything starts with the mind. So there's a new quote that says, attention is the new currency. What does that mean?
That's the most valuable.
Right. All right, that is correct. Okay, so what you pay attention to most is going to guide you in the direction of how you want to take care of yourself, how successful you want your business to be. So my question is, how much are the things that you're paying attention to costing you? Next slide. All right, so let's talk about mindset. So there are 2 types of mindsets you can have in order to maintain success. One is fixed mindset, where you kind of have your core values, beliefs, you're not flexible, you're not trying to change nothing, your business is your business, and you're going to stay there 10 years the same way, right? Growth mindset is, I'm going to pay attention to what's happening in trends, I'm going to start getting feedback from other people, I'm going to have a positive outlook on things, and more of an awareness, right? So that I can be proficient in my business. So the therapy side of that is called cognitive behavioral therapy, and basically what that means is your thoughts control your behaviors, actions, and feelings. And so if you're always in your head a lot, you're going to tend to, if you don't have a positive mindset, you're going to always be negative, or you're going to always have attitude with people, right? And that's not good for business, not good for customers, not good for you, not good for your team. All right, so in order to have a positive mindset, you want to figure out what are you paying attention to that influences your thoughts, and how much time do you give to it, right? Because you want to balance. So what types of books do you all read for your business? Yes.
Now I'm currently reading Think and Grow Rich.
Okay, good. So that's mindset that's helping you grow your business. Anybody else reading books or research?
I've been researching different certification tests to help give myself like that extra not validation, but I don't know what's the word, like to.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Like, so when somebody want to hire me,
some
they
assurance.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, look, I'm certified in this, and this. Like.
Good. All right, so that's good self-care, right? Paying attention to what we need to make sure that we're okay. All right, what type of music do we listen to?
Young boy.
All right, so the music that you listen to affects the type of success that you have in your life, personal and professional, right? So if you always listen to angry music, then you stuck in traffic and you trying to get to a meeting, that's gonna do 1 or 2 things. Make you even more aggressive, or it hypes you up, depending on the type of person that you are. All right, so you wanna make sure that you are really being intentional about the mindsets that you have, especially when it comes to your business and showing up for yourself. The biggest thing that I find when working with people is, how much time are you spending on social media, and what are you doing on there? So social media, if you could say, how much time do you spend on there?
My phone says 8 hours a day.
8 hours a day?
Yeah, I was like, my phone say like 8 to 12.
Okay, so that's a work day, right? That we getting on social media. Now, what are we doing in the work day? Are we like researching, listening to YouTube, podcasts? You shook your head. What are you doing?
I'm on TikTok.
Okay, are you learning dance moves? Because I got some information on there, but
Yeah.
is it something helpful to you, or is it just more like?
It's like,
All right, so to balance that out, you want to use social media to your advantage, right? That has to do with mindset. Yeah, it's okay to, learn little dances and have fun, but if it's not something that is pertaining to you and you realize that you spent almost a whole day on it, then you might want to limit that time. So you want to think about how these things that you pay attention to make you feel, behave, or act out. And then the last thing you want to ask yourself, does it align to your personal and company's mission? Have y'all ever seen people that act different at one time, and then you see them somewhere else on social media, they're like a totally different person? Like the switch. Right, and so there's not an alignment, so you don't know who's who. You don't know, like, is this your business persona, or is this just really you? Because I don't work with you if you like that, right? So making sure that everything lines up is important when you want to change or move your mindset. Next slide. All right, so in order to fix your mindset, you have to train the brain. Practicing self-care helps you prevent overthinking and kind of exerting yourself. Y'all get worked up a lot about stuff?
Yeah.
School grades, deadlines, right? And so that causes burnout, anxiety, and depression. And I don't have a long time to go into that, but anyway, you want to be mindful of that when you feel yourself getting overworked. That's the part because some people ask, oh, well, how do I know if I need self-care? Well, basically, you need it every day because it's a part of keeping you regulated. But there might be more times than others where you might need a little bit more self-care because, life is lifing, and so you want to make sure that you pay attention to what you need. Self-care may include, once again, a mindset, just being positive. Watching the way that you speak to yourself and other people makes a difference. If you say, think about this, and maybe we said this before, because I've said it sometimes too, but reframing your negative thoughts with counter statements. So a negative thought is, I'm a failure. What does that sound like if you think that every time business doesn't go well for you?
You'll be a failure. You're gonna be a failure.
Right. What does it sound like if you say, I will do better next time?
You gotta do better next time.
Right. That's a lot different from saying I'm a failure, right? That feels different for you. You feel like, okay, I didn't do my best, but I got it next time, right? All right, so try to shift with counter statements. Also remember, we're all learning and growing. Everything is constantly evolving, so be kind to yourself. Try not to compare yourself to other people. Like, it's okay to look at another person, kind of see what they're doing, and be like, okay, I can take this in pieces of this. But the thing, and that goes back to social media, all you're seeing is a reel and a snippet of people's lives. And most people don't tell you the bad stuff, right? So don't go in comparing your business to someone else, like saying, oh, okay, this person, she's like, oh, with braids. I'm not good at braids, so my business is not going to do it right. I'm just using for example, right? So you just kind of focus on your business, where you want it to be, get the skills that you need, and that's part of taking care of yourself, right? Don't overwork. Give yourself some breaks in between, and then relax a little bit. Because what happens is your mind overstimulates, and then that's when you start feeling anxious, and then when you can't move as fast as you need to, then that's when like the depression comes, and that's when those negative thoughts come in. So giving yourself a break works well. If you have a problem with being organized, you want to use a planner or calendar to manage your time and tasks. So I would say time management is really task management. And so what are you doing within the time? If you can visually see it, it helps you keep track a little bit better, as opposed to just kind of all running through your mind, which can make you more anxious, because you're not going to remember everything. Because thoughts float around, right? And somebody might call you, you might hear something, and you're like, dang, I forgot what I was going to say. When you write it, it's kind of like a visual contract. So when you use your calendar or planner, you want to include personal activities, include some hobbies, some things that you like, exercise, social time, spiritual activities, etc. And then also remember to set boundaries. So two people mentioned that when you're setting boundaries, you want to ask for help. We all have helped each other at some point, and we all have different traits or different skills that we can bring to our village. So you want to identify your skills. What are you good at? How can you help someone else? And then what is another person good at? Like someone does graphics. If that's not your strong point, don't try to spend 10 hours on Canvas trying to do that. Just call somebody else and be like, friend, this is what I need to help you get your task done. And that'll free up your time to do something else. Next slide. I think that's it. All right, so self-care action plan. I don't know if we have time for it, but I want you to just lock that in. Think about 3 mindset moves that you can do to think more positive. Okay, we have time. Y'all can yell it out or write it down, whatever. But so when you're setting your goals for more self-care, what are 3 thoughts that you can change?
What was the question? I'm sorry.
When you're setting goals for self-care or changing your mindset, what are 3 thoughts that you can change to think more positive?
Instead of being like, I can't do this, like, I can work towards doing it better.
Okay. Good. Because that helps you push further and not stop, right? Because when you say I can't do it, it's like I'm done, right?
So changing your mindset, like what she said, and then to a positive mindset, of course. And then what I like to do is write down my goals, to visualize it, and then also manifest, speak it into existence.
Good.
I'm gonna steal my sister's, for every negative thought you have, replace it, try to do 3 positive thoughts that you could replace like that.
Yes, love it. All right, so now that we got the mindset change, thank you, sister. All right, so then we want to train the brain, right? So when we start taking more care or taking care of ourselves a little bit better, we increase our self-awareness. We know what we like, what we don't like, what boundaries we need to set, things to tell other people about us to help us be more successful. And that increases our self-confidence. So what 3 self-care activities do you think you can use to train your brain to improve self-care?
Activities?
Yep, what can you do? So we're changing the thought and now we're talking about what can we do?
Turning off the phone for like 30 minutes. Just putting it on do not disturb and not picking it up for like 30 minutes.
Okay, good. So limiting phone or electronic device time. Okay. Meditation, all right. Anybody else? What would be helpful? Taking breaks. You gotta schedule your breaks. Working out.
Yeah, taking naps.
Okay.
Keeping your rest.
Oh yeah, definitely. I napping has been my thing. I put them on the calendar though, and I set an alarm. Like I be napping in between plays sometimes. But yeah, and I come back refreshed to take on the world. All right, so last slide.
Oh, sorry.
All right, does anybody have any questions? Gave the crash course there.
I do have a question. Going back to the negative self-talk, so to be honest, I find myself doing that. And once I pull myself out, I have at least been talking negative for at least a month.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you catch yourself in it? How do you pull yourself out of that cycle after you have been doing it for so long?
So that goes back to writing it down. So what I always suggest is to create a thought log. Each time that you think something, write it or either put it in your phone. And so the thoughts that come up to you the most, some of you can cancel out. Like they might be occasional thoughts that come up, you know, and they don't stay that long. Like I call them gnats, right? They just come and go, right? But the ones that linger, those are the ones that usually have like a deeper root. And some of them, as you start keeping track of your thoughts, you'll start recognizing that they all lump together. And this is where like therapy might be helpful. But if you realize that there's something that is deep with these thoughts or they're anchored to something, like if you keep saying that you're a failure in so many areas or I'm not good enough, usually you want to ask, what's the source of that? Where is that coming from? Is it that I didn't do well in this task, or has someone told me this? So every time that I don't win something or I don't make an A, that I'm a bad person, right? Also, another way to, not disassociate in a bad way, but another way to change your thoughts is to say, I'm thinking, or to change your feelings is to say, I am feeling, instead of saying, say for example, you say, I'm depressed. When you say I'm depressed, you're allowing depression to become you, right? When you say I am feeling depressed, you allow the feeling to be what it is, and you can still be here, right? So you say, I am thinking negative thoughts. You allow the thoughts to stay over there, and you over here, right? And you acknowledge that they're happening. You figure out what the thoughts are. Either figure out how you want to change it by throwing some counter statements in, or if you just want to go down a rabbit hole, which, I mean, you could do therapy for that. That's self-care. But you need to figure out where it's coming from, because it's going to continue to stop you. And every time that you feel like you're getting to a certain level of success, those thoughts are going to always come with you. So if it's something deeper than that, I don't know, maybe childhood or an old boss or something that just didn't treat you right, that's something that you want to figure out and try to fix those thoughts. Any other questions? Yes.
When you said that professional self-care is one of the 5 major ones. How do you put professional and self-care in the same sentence?
Because that's all a part of you, right? And so it's a piece, not the whole thing. And so what happens is we can't deny and say, oh, because we have to go to school, we have to make a living, we get to, do our dreams by having a business, but we can't just block that out, right? But usually so it's a part of the whole self, just like physical, just like your you feel, the thoughts that you have, your social circle, that's important to be able to take care of yourself and have the right support system, the spiritual side. So it's all a part of it. But the goal is to balance it, not to where you're just so like pressed for the professional side that you start losing friends, you don't go to family events anymore, you stop going to church, you stop working out, like all you do is just business. Yes.
I wanted to comment on that. So I said my biggest form of self-care is professional self-care, because it's creating boundaries within my profession. So my work hours are 8 hours a day, whether that's from 6 a.m. to whatever 8 hours later is, or 9 to 5. After those hours are worked, that's it. I'm not gonna be on my Slack anymore. You send me messages there, I don't want to hear it. I'm done with the work day. Or to say, okay, I'm allotted an hour for break. I will take my hour. I'm not gonna work through my hour. I'm not gonna take my lunch to my computer and eat. No, I have a job. I'm gonna do my job, but I'm not gonna extend myself past what you're giving me, which is money, right? Because if I die, you're gonna replace me, but my family gonna feel correct,
Right.
So
you might have it like I already do that, right? But some jobs or some of our businesses can kind of get away with us, right? And we forget that we need to put some professional self-care in that. That could be asking for a raise if you are going to work overtime. Some people don't get paid overtime. They just be like working, right? So advocating for that. If you need mental health days, some jobs are decreasing your sick days, and then if you take off, they want to charge you for the day, or so those are things that you want to speak up to reduce your stress, and then be able to figure out how you can move some of your time over to some other area. Anybody else? Y'all were great. Yes.
Okay, so to piggyback off of when we were talking about comparing yourself to others, like I'm young, I'm only 20 years old. So for me to do the things that I do, I tend to compare myself to like older people who are doing the same things that I'm doing, and it's kind of, difficult to manage, because I feel like I should be at a certain level, but it's like I have to also remember that I'm only 20, like I'm still figuring out what I really want to do. So how did you, navigate through that?
Okay. So that's a mindset move, right? Because that sounds like it's not a physical thing, it's more a mental thing that that you kind of get stuck with thinking. So for me, and I teach also, so I have a 19-year-old daughter. So I always tell her and them, if you run your own race, you will always be in first place. That means if you focus on what you need to be doing, God is going to take you wherever you need to go. Now that doesn't, so you can admire someone, right? You can say, hey, I love how this person is doing this. But at the same time, you still got to find your own thing, because it might look nice for what they're doing. Or when they tell you all of the things that they had to put into it, you not be like, no, I don't think it's for me, like this, like that, right? So be careful with comparing, because you just never know, all right? So what I would suggest, like if you like something about something or someone or a certain style and you want to figure out how they do it, you can ask them. Some people want to get paid for their time, so be willing to compensate if that's what you want to do. Or you know, you can self-teach, like we got YouTube now, so you can kind of look up certain things. And then not comparing yourself also allows you to be more innovative and creative in your own way. Like you might have some ideas because you are younger that no one else is doing. And market that. Like it don't necessarily have to be what everybody else is doing. You could just be like, hey, this is the new thing. Anybody else? Is that my 20 minutes?
Okay. Sorry, y'all, I had to switch, wardrobe. Zach, you care to tell the people what I got on?
Yeah, she got the first generation of Well hoodie on. This is my clothing brand. I'm actually coming up with another design in the making, so it should be out before March 15th.
Oh, prestigious. I feel all exclusive. Okay, so now we are going to take a lunch break. If you go out of this door, the break room is right there. There's sandwiches, fruit, cookies, tea, water. So you can actually go in right here. You'll see the break room and then come out on the other side and come back through this door. Thank you. And then we'll come back in like 10 minutes or something.
I'll take a picture, Miranda. I ain't even getting over it. The picture maybe. And then take a picture of me. I ain't even get no picture.
We definitely take a group.
Of me hard working.
Oh, I thought that was
Not extra. Or it don't matter, just keep going in the page.
okay.
I'm an action.
Let's keep in touch.
No,
Oh, you said look like you in action.
yeah, like,
I like
this is cute. Yeah, that's good.
yeah, which one do you practice most? Because I did the little QR code thing.
I mean, these look all fancy. What happened on this?
There you go. I'm just snapping. Okay, now look this way.
So I'm trying to, I'm in my phase where I'm trying to branch out, but still take what I learned with them.
Aww.
Tell YouTube, hey.
Hey,
They say
YouTube.
They say you did really well.
Aw, thanks. I was trying to hurry up. I was like, oh, 10 minutes.
Yeah, I got to play some things. Oh, my food is in the refrigerator. I forgot I had to put my food out.
You know, I be trying to respect time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So I want to be the person who, the black business work together, and I help you. Like we helping each other basically. Like I'm helping bring business to you, and then people are coming to me like, hey, I see like that. That was my main focus that I wanted to do, and then it just ended up being with events. That's what I was strictly doing.
I can say it's free now.
Already.
was supposed to like early, like any like game night, stuff like that. That's what I do. I've been trying to,
Y'all can watch.
like I said, I wanted to do the business, but I ended up sticking to it because it's easier. It's easier to promote
Do they already have
business than these entire.
mail on them or not? No. We have to put the mail. Because I think I need the same thing. We have to have, I can't have it. I don't see how I can finish it. I can't have it. I can say you can't have nothing on it. Like, not the chicken, not the bread, because it's not made with eggs. You can't have the meat and vegetables.
And it was
I'm
literally just pictures.
I know, but I can feel that. No animal products, none, no dairy. I was like, I was trying to see. They have some tomatoes. Lettuce and tomatoes. Like the big tomatoes. I love the big round juicy tomatoes. What's the meat on the sandwich? Turkey, ham, I think they have roast beef. I would try chicken. I would eat chicken if I had to. Yeah. That's all they have. Well, at the gala, we definitely, I was like, Christian, we got a lot of vegans and vegetarians. Because we doing chicken. Chicken masala.
Curtain tool or whatever that she's not. You can either be like, look, let me take you on for 6 months. Let's see what your incline is like, or you know, or how whatever your time is. So if you say you want to do it for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, maybe, do that for her as like
Pushing and eating them cookies.
I was gonna say, just for you, so that people can see what you do, and then you'll know, like the law
Oh, sorry.
Tuesday and I am supposed to see what the on Wednesday, maybe Tuesday, after you went with them, they had moved on Wednesday, you know, the week off. We got there and I said, see what lines were like Wednesday, like a day or two ago. I couldn't figure out what I wanted, so I took a step forward. And now, all this exactly where I want to go now. Because I'm actually learning it. I'm coming to the brain and I'll learn. This is what I like. This is what I'm interested in. I mean, so no agree. Good agree with you. What? The mayo and mustard.
I definitely thought I Randall. Did you come to that? Oh, you didn't come to the birthday party. That's where I got the idea from. I got
I honestly didn't know what, one of them had like a
Turkey. It's just lettuce,
no, what's that, lettuce?
in the building. Oh, roast meat. It was roast beef, turkey, and ham.
That's why I didn't work. Don't hit me.
Hours.
Me and Miranda used to do that. I was saying they could, merge their sweet and, you know, share hours and stuff. Put your clothes in there for sale.
So, there's something I don't know about. Yes, you do. About LLC, that's it. I seen the part about LLC and I was like, that on YouTube. I'm gonna talk about that.
About what?
About fair news.
Oh, yeah.
Not fair news, ain't fair. It literally is like a 5 second clip, like I walk in Ross and they playing music like all day. Like
Cause you be on there with your, YouTube.
Now the music that I use in my videos is owned by Beyonce. So he sent me like that person, like that's his actual music. So you'll have to be copyrighted for that. But if I go in the store or something, if the radio starts playing, like man.
That's what you got, yeah. So you got an iPhone 13?
No, it's in my phone. And no, you cannot go to the phone.
I always go look for it.
Yes, exactly.
Let me put this on my calendar. First of all, I feel like you already did. First of all, I feel like you already did. I feel like I did too. I was gonna say, you know, y'all have been the first people I told. The game has been May 6th since last year. Bro, you knew. You just didn't put it on your calendar.
I'm not saying that I didn't know.
You know what? You need to apply some calendar. Did you not just hear what the speaker said? Did you not just hear what Stephanie said? She said, calendar, plan. I forgot about this till you sent the reminder to me.
You just can't be trusted. You just can't be trusted. That's what it is. I don't trust your judgment.
You said had.
That's what I like my head.
Oh, we coming out of that.
We're out. We're out. We're out. Go ahead.
You know, Trump was still fixing the brain.
Right, no, Tony. That's why you gotta
We
get
direct
Mom said, well, you
Mom.
don't listen to me.
What do you want to do your brain?
It's
I was on the
Give me a struggle sometimes.
I know you. It's gotta be right. It's gotta be right.
So we had kids to my racing.
There's a, what is it?
Real,
Got one over there. That's the Girls Club right over there, or?
It was,
This is one from the middle school.
I think this one went by middle school, it was back in 2000.
Okay.
2002. It was part of, it was like the Boys and Girls Club on one side, and then like like Missouri City. It was like,
She was taller.
way before you was like,
Oh, yeah. Let me tell you
that's the only reason I'm familiar with the school name, because I knew it was
Because they do have a,
Right into it yesterday.
like, it's called a pinnacle, right over there by that. Boys and Girls Club.
I just remember some railroad.
I don't know.
But I was like, I remember some railroad shit. And I remember it was like the community center was on one side. And then the Boys and Girls Club back door to it.
I know.
And each like senior citizens that would come. It was right there.
Well, you're around her mother life. But I'm very, awareness or choosing it. Yeah, I like that. Like that. Unless you have to understand people.
Just too much.
You're That's that's another thing I think about elementary, like, I cannot be watching. That's why we were so surprised. But you know, we're talking about branching out and assessing strengths and areas of concern.
My council don't have any reason.
How do you handle tabloids?
That's all they do. I was like, okay, thank you.
So what's your self-care look like at the end of that? So you don't, each day you don't do good things. You just go
I
home.
don't have time. I will get to work if I'm doing that college, so I get there at 6:30. And school starts at 8. Instruction doesn't start until about 8:45.
So are you not caught up just because they give you more work, or you just?
I've been sick since I started working. I've had pink eye, I've had strep twice, I've had a flu.
Oh yeah, because you around a lot of kids.
Yeah, so I am consistently sick, so I keep missing days, so then I'm behind, trying to catch up. So I
Do they give you a hard time for missing that? Or they just tell you to take off when they need you?
because my principal, she's just like, this your first year working around kids, which is 12 kids, yes, so they home, I talk to them, but so they're not as lucky. But she's like, this your first year, like, I just,
So you take like emergency or something? Your vitamin?
yes, the vitamins.
Good self-care.
But I'm here from like
This how we
6:30
talk to
to
the
1.
client. You talk about the vitamins. Just be taking notes.
I want you to know, I call it because sometimes I be swearing I have COVID. Like, I be swearing I have COVID and don't be happy.
Do some of the kids still wear masks and
So
stuff?
they can't get out like 2 I have self-contained place. At first I thought it was like allergy because I'm right with the child. Oh, then I started coughing and I was like, nah, let me check. I did one of the.
Is that legal?
And then that's not why I heard it. Went up there. And I was gonna be working around older kids and then compromised lady for training.
Maybe it
So I didn't want to risk going to work and then I really did.
Do
So
they
I'm
have
glad I did
behavioral
take it.
problems?
Yeah. So they said, because they did not explain what it was when I looked it up, they said they really for kids who are speakers. A good portion of them used to have like bad
Kids in there.
26, and then he had a social education.
I feel like that's illegal.
Zach.
Is this a charter?
It's a charter.
Oh, so
Zach.
they don't have no rules. Well, maybe they have a USB-C. I know.
But it's called a teacher. It's called a USB. But it ain't called a fast charger. I'm not gonna. Are you ready?
Of course.
The charger.
That's better.
More than trying to just a box that was. Are you ready? Make sure you fill. It's USB.
Yeah, you should. Cause you missed the last three. You had one time. Well, can you guys say
I know for a fact I
yeah, we did miss 2019, we missed 2020, 2021 first. And last year we did it in person. I'm gonna have to start sending you personal text messages. No, yeah, I need to pass volunteers. Because we need like at least 10, 15. Please do, because we that's the Ttm Tyler.
But yeah, I feel like everybody is developing in their brain, boys.
I never seen that.
Mama, what you doing? You gonna sit down? Oh, you look so mean. Can you smile? There you go. They all
Okay. It's just
I'm like, so we're gonna start back. You guys feel free to finish eating and drinking and all kinds of snacks. I am super full, but I'm gonna turn it over to Zach.
So now we be presenting Yoshiko Bernie.
Oh, amazing.
Yoshiko Bernie
Esquire.
Esquire is a contract attorney for the Maximus Corporation who knows firsthand in the power of going after an idea that turns into a journey. She began her journey in law by taking an LSAT and making an acceptable score the first time just applying to a historical black university that had law schools. Now she works full-time reading, understanding, and negotiating contracts. Now presenting the great Yoshiko Bernie.
I'm pumped up. I just feel like I can do anything at this point.
Right?
Hello, everybody. So, before I get started, I am not your average lawyer, okay? So, I look like this most of the time. So, I do not approach the bench looking like this. I will dress better, but for the most part, I just look like this. And so, what was important to me in being a lawyer and looking like this is I didn't see people who look like this. We often have to be whitewashed. We often have to present a certain way to be respected. I remember the first time that I approached the bench, it was impromptu. So in Houston, the judge is on the bench. Right, so if you go to jail at 2 o'clock in the morning, your client can call you and you can go and see a judge to try to get them out. And so my client called me like around 7 from jail and was like, hey, I done went to jail. Can you come help me? And I showed up looking sitting there like this. And the bailiff said, oh, you have to wait for your boyfriend out in the hallway. And I was like, my man not in jail, so I don't know what you're talking about. And he was like, baby mama's wives, all they gotta wait out here. And I had to flash my bar card and just say, oh, you got me messed up. I'm his attorney. And so they don't expect us to look like this. Of course, had I known I was out with my friends, so I probably would have looked better. But it's important that you know that you can be authentically you no matter what your business, no matter what your profession, no matter what you're doing, because I'm always just look like this. I'm always just do me. So that's how I wanted to start, so we can go ahead and get going. So just a little bit about me. I went to Jackson State University in Mississippi, and then I attended Thurgood Marshall School of Law. I currently teach 2nd grade. Don't ask me no questions. We don't know how I got there, but I currently teach 2nd grade, and I am a dog mom to Colin, who is my life. So, starting in business, it is important that you choose the right business structure. There are LLCs, there are sole proprietorships, there are S corporations, there are C corporations, there are B corporations. Choose whichever one works for you. What I always suggest, depending on the business structure and the model, I do suggest LLCs, but again, it depends. You need to talk to a business analyst, someone that can help you with that and read very well. An LLC, if you are sued, your assets are protected, your personal assets. So if you are sued, if your business is sued, they cannot take what's in your personal bank account. They cannot take your car. They cannot take anything from your house. They can only take anything from the business. So if you have nothing in your business account, they can sue you, but you have nothing to give, and your personal money is still your money. Other structures have the ability to do that, but more so, it's not as flexible. You will still have to come off of some sort of money, but with an LLC, you are fully protected. Put everything in writing. Everything. We don't run on verbal agreements. Though in some courts, verbal agreements can stand, but put everything in writing. Even if you write, hey, we gonna put $500 in the business account. Okay, we gonna go in business together. Putting it on this card, it will still hold up in court with 2 signatures on it. So make sure you put everything in writing, even if they disagree with the offer. If your client, you tell them, hey, I charge $1,000 for this. Okay, well, I can pay you $1,000. I have to pay $500 up front, and I give you $200 every 2 weeks. Put it in writing.
Because what will be important is then they give you $500 and then they run off on the plug. And then it's like, well, I gave you what I had. You knew I only had $500 up front. I don't know what you expected from me. And if you don't have it in writing and you try to take them to court, you will spin your wheels. And you will probably spend more money trying to collect the other $500 than just writing it down and ensuring that you get your money. So put everything in writing. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter what it's on. It can be on a napkin. It can be on a shoe. It can be on whatever you have available to you at the time. But please ensure that you put everything in writing. And here I put reiterate everything. So working in a call center when I was going to law school, I learned you just repeat stuff back to people for record. So if I tell you my business, we close at 5 o'clock. I told you to come pick up your shirt at 5 o'clock. And you come at 5:01. My showing is tonight. I need the shirt tonight. I need it. We close at 5 o'clock. I called when you told me you could be there at 4:30. Okay. The latest we're open is 5 o'clock. I'm gonna be there. Now you're banging on my door and you cannot get in. Now you want to sue me. Now you want to get on Instagram and say I'm running a bad business. Now you want to make a Google review, slander my name. When I had told you 3 times that day, I put it in writing. You emailed me. Hey, I'm coming to pick up my shirt today. Okay, we close at 5 o'clock. You call me. Okay, we closing at 5 o'clock. You can come at whatever time before 5. Reiterate everything because people will lie. And they will say you never told them anything. They will say, I never knew you closed at 5 o'clock. Verse says 5 o'clock. Our Instagram says 5 o'clock. Business cards say 5 o'clock. So you never knew it was 5 o'clock? So reiterate everything, even in contracts. Make sure you have it. Line B, section A, make sure you put it in there so that way when they try to sue you, when they try to slander you, it's on my website. It's on paperwork. We close at 5 o'clock. Okay, understand employment laws. How many people in here that have a business are at a place where they can hire people or bring on people to help? Okay, Zach, I see what you're doing. So it is important to understand what that would look like. So I have a nonprofit organization. It's called the Butterfly Project. And so it's for survivors of domestic violence. I grew to a point that I needed help. But I also grew to a point where I couldn't hire help. Like I didn't have the money like that to hire help. So I met with my mentor and he told me, oh, you should do a W-9. And I was like, okay, man, I'm gonna do a W-9. And I got off the phone and I was like, wait, I ain't never heard of a W-9. I don't even know what that is. I heard of a W-2. I don't know what a W-9 is. And so W-9 is for independent contractors. So this is where you can hire somebody. You do not pay taxes. They are responsible for paying their own taxes. I'm not gonna get into your area, but they're responsible for that. You give them the document, they fill in, you fill in how much you're gonna pay them, and they're responsible for the rest. You make sure you get a copy and they take the original so that way everything is on them so they won't come back and say, I was never paid. Well, you weren't really an employee, you're an independent contractor and we have the documentation. So you need to know the difference. A W-2, of course, if you've ever had a job, then you know what a W-2 is. You know, pay taxes and you get that from your job and then you recoup and file all of that. But you need to know the difference between independent contractors and an actual employee. An employee, you are required to offer certain things, where with the W-9 employee, independent contractor, I give you your money and I'm not required to provide you insurance. I am not required to provide you a break or anything like that because we've agreed upon $100 a week and that's just what you do. So you need to know how you want to hire. And moving forward, if you want to move to a W-2 or if you need to scale somebody back, okay, well, I had you on as an employee. Business is slowing down. We need to go to an independent contractor. That is what most churches do. That is what most small businesses do. They just have a W-9 where you work on a freelance base. Pay attention to intellectual property issues. That's not what they say. Oh, maybe it does. Okay, I can't see. Pay attention to intellectual property
issues. So intellectual property is a concept at the root of copyright protection. So this is my intellectual property. This belongs to me. If somebody try to take this slide, I'm going to sue you because it's mine. I made it, I wrote it, it's all mine. This is my intellectual property. And so you need to be mindful of your intellectual property, but also you need to be mindful of other people's intellectual property. Your name is your intellectual property. People can buy your name and you will no longer have rights to your name. There was a Black woman who is a bridal gown designer, and she was so excited to partner with the company, and she made the gowns under her name. They bought her out. She can no longer use her own name, her birth name. She cannot use her own name because she was so excited to sign on with the big company and just, I want to sign on with them. I'm excited to make my dresses. I'm just going to take whatever the contract say. And now she's in a, at this point, 2 or 3 year legal battle to buy her own name back from the bridal company. So when she does events, when she does TV shows, she has to say, I am such and such. You would know me under the name of her own legal name her mama gave her. So you need to be aware of intellectual property. Let's jump to the next slide. So copyright infringement, this is where it gets a little tricky because honestly, that could be anything. So this is illegally downloading music files, uploading someone else's copyrighted material. So this is you taking this information and then putting it on your website. This is my stuff. Now you're falsifying documents like you did this. Downloading licensed software from another unauthorized site, modifying and reproducing someone else's creative works, recording a movie in a movie theater. You see people on TikTok playing SpongeBob. Why are y'all doing that? That's not y'all. That belongs to Nickelodeon. Why are you playing SpongeBob live on TikTok? Distributing a recording of a TV show or radio broadcast, including someone else's photographs on a website without permission. Publishing or posting a video with a copyrighted song. That's a big thing on YouTube. A lot of YouTubers, they have voiceovers. You're watching a video of them walking through the mall and they're talking or they're just playing music because 9 times out of 10, they're playing copyrighted music at the mall and they can't play their video because YouTube will give them a copyright strike. Selling merchandise that includes copyrighted images, text, or logos. Y'all really be out here using Louis Vuitton stuff and like saying, oh, well, this right here, I can use this. It doesn't matter if you're selling it and making money or just have a wallpaper on your phone. That is copyright images, text, and logos. So you can get different type of copyrights. You can copyright your logo, but maybe not have your name copyrighted. You can have a phrase copyrighted, Black Girl Magic. That is copyrighted. So the people who have a shirt that say Black Girl Magic, that's not by the woman who owns the copyright, that is copyright infringement. Cupcakes with Louis Vuitton on it, that's copyright infringement. Replica bags, copyright infringement. So you want to make sure it's kind of tricky because a lot of stuff is copyright infringement, but you want to make sure that you are protected with your information, but as well not using anyone else's information. Fair use. So there are some things that you can use that are copyrighted, but it's fair use. So like again, back to YouTube. There are some people who will play somebody's whole YouTube video on their own YouTube channel, but they're doing commentary. So you're not watching, like Miranda has a YouTube channel. I can upload her video right now to my YouTube page and put me in the corner streaming. And I stop it every 30 seconds and start talking about what she just said. So right now she's doing a Black History series. Okay, I'm gonna stop the video. So yeah, she was just talking about W.E. Du Bois and he was really great and he did. Let's get back to the video. Play it for another 30 seconds. Stop it again and keep talking. That's fair use. I'm not taking it. I'm just making commentary on what you're saying. That's fair use. So you can use certain things and do things like that. So it's done for nonprofits, for educational purposes, a limited portion of work. So sometimes you can play for, what is it, Miranda, like maybe 10 seconds on YouTube or something like that. You can play a song or a video for about 10 or 15 seconds and not get a copyright strike. But yeah, don't be using people's stuff. Next slide. Examples of copyright. So that's literary works, performing arts, visual arts, motion pictures, photographs, and other digital content. Also, copyrights, which is weird, is not even tangible. So it can be somebody's thought. Somebody can copyright something that they just thought of and have it copyrighted. And if you start using it, even if it's not tangible, this TV is tangible. But if I thought of a TV when they was created, if you made a TV, you stole it from me because I thought of a TV first. I copyrighted, even though I didn't create it, I thought of a TV. So I could copyright it. So even thoughts, things that are not tangible, can be considered copyright. Have a legal disclaimer on your website. This is very important. If you, I'm minding my business. If you sell replica bags, you know, don't call them a Louis Vuitton Speedy bag, okay? Don't do that. That's copyright. Just say brown bag, you know, something like that. So that way you are not getting caught up in copyright infringement. And with that, you need to make a disclaimer at the bottom of your website, or should have like a hyperlink that basically just says like, no affiliation with Louis Vuitton. This is not, you know, a real Louis Vuitton bag or trying to take the likeness of a Louis Vuitton bag. You purchase this at your own risk, knowing that this is not a real bag. Because what will happen is somebody will buy a replica bag and then want all of their money back because you have said this is a Louis Vuitton bag and they know it's replica, whether they got embarrassed and somebody called them out for it or whatever the reason. And then they want to say, oh, you sold me a bag. Okay, ma'am, you click the box accepting the terms and agreements of what I've sold you. You knew this when you bought it. So you want to make sure, and it's not just for that. If you have hair care products, some people don't know what they're allergic to when they scalp burn up. And then they want to say you did it on purpose. No, I told you I am not liable for what you purchased. You cannot sue me for any allergic reactions. You cannot come back for me for any type of resources because you did not read the ingredients. Make sure ingredients are listed. Make sure if you're selling clothes, make sure the fibers are listed. You want to make sure that you have the disclaimer. You don't want to give anybody any reason to come back and take the money that you have worked so hard for. If you sell electronics, let them know, hey, we're not responsible for what happened during shipping. We're not responsible if you sell AirPods and one of them stop working. We're not responsible for that. That's probably something you did. So you want to make sure that you have that on your. You also need to have it if you sell on Facebook Marketplace, if you sell on Etsy, wherever you sell, wherever you have your products, make sure you have a legal disclaimer. It is important that you keep your money. Yes, you need to have money set aside if legal issues come up, but keep your money. Don't give me your money when you didn't have to. So many people reach out to me and they're like, oh, can you look at this contract? Can you look at this? And they've missed important parts in their own contract or on their website. And now you're giving me $1,000 to tell you you missed it. And you're going to have to give me some more if you want me to try to fight that for you. So don't give anybody an opportunity to discredit your business. Get professional help. I think this is the last slide. Get professional help. So I am offering to anybody who wants it a session on how to get legal in entrepreneurship for free. For anybody in here who wants to do that, you need to get professional help. So as you grow in your business, everybody needs a lawyer. And I know it's like lawyers are scammers. What grandma used to call them? Ambulance chasers. You just want money. You just want this. No, we're trying to help you keep your business. We're trying to help you stay legal. And you need to have one on retainer. Once you get to that place, you need to have one on retainer. So that way you're not dealing with the frivolousness of, okay, I need to fight this case. And you can just sell whatever it is. Tasha K found herself in some mess with Cardi B, but she didn't have to deal with that because she had a team of lawyers who dealt with that, and she went to court, and whatever happened with that, I don't remember. But you need to have people on the case for you fighting on your behalf. So you need to get professional help to make sure that you file for the correct business structure. And if not,
they can fix that for you. If you don't have anything on your website, we can look at that and say, hey, you're missing this. And if you have it, okay, well, you need to add this, and this is why I suggest that. So you need to get the help of somebody, even if you just buy one session. It's a lot of attorneys who offer free consultations. It's a lot of attorneys who, at the beginning of the year, we have to do pro bono work. And so now is the time of year to reach out to them, because towards May, they've already given up all their free sessions. So reach out to different attorneys to try to get help, just to make sure your business is legal. I feel like that's it. Anybody got any questions?
Great job.
Where can we go to sign up for these,
Just let me know today. And I'll get your info and we can schedule a time. Oh, for sure. I meant to give it to you, like, what was that, last month?
2 months ago.
I absolutely did, but you don't have no, she won't be able to anyway. All right.
So now we will now we will be presenting one of the greatest speakers. I spoke with her a whole entire week on a Zoom class, Miss Sharice Martin. Sharice Martin was born and raised in Indianapolis, Indiana. She started her journey in Houston, Texas in 2010, attending TSU, where she received her bachelor's and master's degree in accounting. Ms. Martin is currently working in the cannabis industry in accounts payable. Prior to her current position, Sharice began her professional accounting career at Ernst & Young as a young auditor. Sharice has worked in various facets of accounting for various companies. Sharice aspires to venture outside of the accounting world. Now presenting Ms. Sharice Martin.
I'm definitely not the best speaker. So, as Zach said, my name is Sharice Martin, and I work in the cannabis industry in accounting. And so, my perspective of accounting and financials, geared towards entrepreneurs, will come from that perspective. So, I don't have a business or anything like that, but I would just come from the perspective of working in accounting for the past couple of years. So, let's go ahead. So we'll go over record keeping, taxes, consultation and research, outsourcing, and brainstorming. And you can go ahead. Record keeping. You want to track all of your transactions. So regardless as to whatever kind of business you have monies coming in, you have monies going out, right? So you want to keep track of all of that, and you'll hear about tracking your transactions and tracking everything that you do throughout all of these different stages that I'm going to talk about here today. That's one of the most important things. And so you have bookkeeping, which is kind of your tracking all of your transactions, and then you have accounting, which kind of defines how you actually organize your transactions, right? So you want to make sure you're constantly tracking all of your transactions, and you can do that through different softwares like QuickBooks, which they have a free version of QuickBooks, right? I believe so. They have a free version of QuickBooks. You can use Wave or you can use Excel. So everybody knows Microsoft Excel. Even something as simple as tracking, downloading your bank transactions, putting those in Excel, and actually writing a description of what each transaction is so that you can have that, go back to that for reference at the end of the year. And we'll get into that later on when we talk about taxes. But you want to track all of your transactions, every single last one. Because that's going to help you later on throughout the year. You want to pay yourself. So you have all of these funds coming in, you have these funds going out, but you want to pay yourself because you don't want to spend the monies for your personal usage out of that business account, right? You want to have everything organized correctly because you don't want to get in trouble with the IRS. You don't want to get in trouble with all of these different regulations, bodies involved in a regulated business. So you want to make sure you have everything separated correctly. So try and pay yourself, whether that's via a salary or based on your sales, because I know it's a small business. The money is not always going to be there the same month to month to month. So you will want to pay yourself versus just spending money out of that business account. And that kind of leads me to the next one, which is having separate bank accounts. So you wanna have at least 4 different bank accounts. You wanna have your taxes, your savings, your payroll, and then your operations. Also your marketing account. Marketing, just because that's gonna be one of your biggest expenses. But if you're to the point where you have different, you can have employees, you wanna have your payroll account, then you wanna have your savings or emergency fund, and then, your marketing account and then your operations, which is where your transactions come in, or the money comes in based on your sales. And you wanna be able to reinvest that income. So you don't wanna just take all the money that you bring in and just spend that on yourself. However, you're just spending that money on reckless. You wanna be able to reinvest that into the business, whether that's increasing your marketing or buying more product, what have you, to be able to increase your sales. So you wanna be able to reinvest that income, and you can only do that through actually managing your money through separate accounts and tracking your transactions and things of that nature. Prepare for the end of the year throughout the year. And I got that from my sister Toy again. So that's with your taxes. So again, we go back to that record keeping, right? So if you're keeping track of all your transactions and the way you've spent your money, if you're doing that throughout the year, when it comes time to file those taxes, you're not searching for receipts. You're not searching for, well, how did I spend this money? Or I think I made this amount of money, but I'm not really sure. You're not going through all that. You know exactly what monies came in, you know exactly what monies went out, and what you spent that money on. Because I'm not a tax accountant, but you will be able to have certain itemizations and deductions based on, did you work out of your home? Well, guess what? That's your office, and you're gonna be able to record a lot of that as expenses for your business. Your phone, we're not gonna get into that. I'm not into taxes. But you wanna keep track of all of these things to be able to prepare for your taxes. And again, if you're tracking your transactions throughout the year, you'll be prepared for that at the end of the year. But this is a place where you definitely should meet with a tax accountant to confirm all of your tax-related ideas throughout the year. Meet with them once, maybe twice a year. And eventually, that's somebody you can have on payroll who's kind of tracking that. And you can kind of consult with them throughout the year on how you make certain adjustments in your business once you have the funds available to do that. So consultation and research, this really could have been separate slides, but work smarter, not harder. So they both kind of spoke on this. There are going to be other people out there doing business, and it may not necessarily be directly related to the business that you do, but you can consult with other business owners on how they structure their business, how they're running their business, how they're managing their money, the different softwares and things that they're using, because you don't necessarily have to pay for softwares. There's free resources out there, but you won't know that unless you talk to someone about that. And then from the research perspective, you have money going out, right? So you have sales, you have repeat customers, you have one-time customers, you have a target market. You don't know any of that. All of that is just data until you can put that into a software, put that into a report, and be able to analyze it, and then it becomes useful information for you. So you don't want to just be out there and say, oh, I made this much money this month. Well, let me try to just repeat the same thing I did, because you really can't say what you did because you didn't look at that person who's continuously buying, and you think that your target market is one person, when if you look at your sales and who your repeat customers are and who your one-time customers are, then you can truly determine, oh, okay, this is my target market. Or you say, you can look at how you sold this month versus this month and look at the different, just the different aspects of what happened that month and why you made sales the way you did. And you won't be able to do that if you're just collecting all this data and not turning it into information through investing in different softwares and stuff that can actually generate these reports and stuff that you can then analyze and actually look at your business. And that brings us to outsourcing. So you want to have a bookkeeper. As a small business owner, a lot of times what I see is that you think you can do it all by yourself. And that's just not the case. You really, even if you
I feel so much shame in this.
it is okay to, as you begin to, try to tap into it yourself. But once you come to workshops like this, once you get exposed to those different type of resources, you should take advantage of that. Try to get your bookkeeper, meet with an accountant or a CPA, once, twice a year, just to kind of review your business and review your accounting, review the bookkeeping that has been done, and then meet with a tax accountant again, like I said, at least once a year. And you do want to like outsource your marketing. Again, that's one of your biggest financial burdens, but then that's also one of your biggest sources of income. Because if I don't know what you sell, or if I don't know where you are or how to get to you, I'm never going to get your product. So you definitely want to invest in your marketing. And again, that goes back to tracking those transactions, which will help you manage your money and reinvest your income. What's the next one? Brainstorming. The world is ever changing, and so is your business. The way you set up your business today may not necessarily be functional for the way your business is growing or the way your business grows. So you always want to be constantly brainstorming and thinking about the structure of your business. As Yoshiko spoke to, there are various tax classifications for businesses. How you originally classified your business today may not work for where your business has gone or where your business is going. So you're going to want to, think about restructuring that, and you have to constantly look at your business and what's happening there. And again, consulting with various business owners, seeing what they're doing and how they're doing it, if they're successful in what they're doing. And actually, that was it. That was very fast. So you can reach me at sharicemartin@gmail.com. If you have any questions, of course, always go to the Ttm site. So yeah, any questions?
Question. So with your tracking all your transactions, right? Okay, you have your bank statement and all that. You can just download that and then put that into Google, like every transaction.
Yeah, I think people overthink what that actually means and what bookkeeping actually is. Literally tracking your transactions. Download your bank statements in Excel or in whatever format you have. Even if you have to do it by hand, you can do that. Download or print off your bank statement and go through and say what each transaction is. You can do that. But of course, we're tech savvy these days. You can download it into Excel and just kind of format that. Because that way you can also analyze how you're spending. You can analyze, where your money's going.
Use your money.
Can I speak on that right quick? So, with the way technology is set up today, that stuff should be automatic. Every time it's live, on the spot, on the moment, it's programs and stuff, but the very moment you swipe or do certain things, a certain customer walks into your business, it's automatically tracking. The very moment they come into your barbershop and they've already scheduled, things are already tracking in the software system. It does that. And for instance, it should be doing your personal life as well as your business life. So in your personal life, you got programs like Mint.com, things of that nature like that. If you're using something like QuickBooks or even something, Google has programs like that does it.
Google has Excel has a money
Excel
feature.
has things that do it for
It has
you.
Excel money.
Yeah, so research those, there's programs that you can learn through 30-minute sessions and stuff, and will teach you how to walk through those programs and stuff, and it's worth it for your business and stuff like that to do that. It will, and when like Mint with the personal side, it'll tell you directly what you should be doing based off what it sees. And so does those business software programs and stuff like that does it.
And that kind of goes back to the research aspect of it when I said looking into those different apps and programs and stuff that does all of that for you. It'll actually allow you to scan your receipts in and keep track of that for you, like she said, automatically. So.
And what you don't understand, you call a lawyer to ask you about.
I got your at bars.
So, for the apps, like I know she's mentioned Minted, which I used that like a long time ago just for personal stuff. But I wasn't at the point in my life where it meant something to me. So
I said no.
Oh yeah, there you go, no pun. But yeah, like I mean, in my early 20s, like I wasn't worried about what I was spending my money on, and because I spent 50% on food or like 30% on house. Like, I wasn't worried about that. So now that I am, would you suggest Minted still, or do you have a particular app you like to use? Like you said, Google. I'm familiar with like the Google stuff, so it might be better. Or like what apps would you recommend for like personal usage? Because I'm not to the point in business wise that I'm just tracking what's coming in, what's coming out, and doing whatever. But personally, to see what I'm doing, because I'm one of them. I'm an emotional shopper. I can be happy. I'm gonna start swiping. I can be sad. I'm gonna start swiping. I'm depressed. I'm gonna start swiping.
Actually,
so I need to know.
Actually, most of your bank institutions have those same programs built in. Chase has it, Chime has it, TDECU has it, where they will actually track all of your spending and regurgitate it back to you how you spent and what you should do to modify your spending based on what your goals are. So a lot of your banking institutions already have that incorporated, and that's literally directly linked, right? Because that's where you're spending your money on. You have Rocket Money, that's another app. Like I said, Excel has money built into it where it will link Excel directly to your bank transactions. So not only will your transactions already be downloaded, but then they'll give it to you in a chart to say, hey, you're spending this much on entertainment, food, clothes. It'll break it out just for you like that. I mean, there's just a lot of them out there right now. If you look into it.
I'm just gonna spend the day at your house.
That's
what you're telling me.
Also, Cash App. Cash App has it as well.
Well, yeah, I saw that they have updated because they have a little savings thing now. They got they have an investment thing because I use them like through investments, like the whole little roundup thing they have. Yeah, on Cash App. Yeah, every time you swipe, whatever is left to get it to the whole number, they put it in, like you can invest. Like I have Amazon, which Amazon ain't great right now, but it's like every little piece is put in Amazon and add up to the shares. But it's, it's a small amount, but still it's a good thing. I just don't use Cash App in my regular.
I have a question when you mentioned about Cash App, and there have been some things in the news that it's not, if you lose your money, you lose your money.
Yeah,
So it's not backed. It's not backed in if your
Well,
money is gone.
I haven't had that issue, and I know, during COVID, like with my church, we're a smaller church, we made a Cash App for church. So that way you can send your tithes and offering to the Cash App. And so, but they have customer service, you just have to do like the whole talk to them, like via the little thing, and then they get back to you, because we had the issue where somebody randomly used the card in New Jersey. They was at Lowe's, running up a check at Lowe's. They spent like $8,000 at Lowe's. And each of those transactions, you have to like fill the little Cash App thing, like, okay, it's this transaction, this transaction, this transaction. And they got back to us and like, they gave us our money back. We got a new card, did all that, but it take a while, like it take a couple of weeks.
With stuff like that, they'll give your money back. But if I send you some money, like if I send you $100 and I click $100 and I send it to you, and then I call, I'm like, oh, I didn't get my service, they're gonna take the $100 from you. But if you request $100 from me and I send it like that, I can't take my money back.
Oh, because it's
so request it. Don't never just let nobody send no money to you. Like that's how you gotta do it.
Oh, so if I request it.
Yeah, request the money from, like, if I'm gonna pay you $100, request it. Don't ever just let me send you the money.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Because they can block it.
Because they can dispute it later on. They can dispute it, and then it's gonna take the $100, and they don't have no customer service, so you never gonna get that money.
Somebody get a hacker.
Independent people. I like that.
Oh, I requested from you.
What's your Cash App?
I'm screaming.
Now what's your Cash App?
What's your Cash App?
I'm gonna schedule some time with you.
Oh, you got time with everybody.
I'm gonna schedule time with everybody. Okay. This is gonna be my self-care.
I know that's
All
right.
right.
Oh, because I'm struggling. I feel, don't do my right transactions by hand. Don't do that.
Everybody ain't tech savvy, you know, cause I'm not.
I'm
actually, right.
And now.
My statements and highlight. And you can still run a grid. I like to come up. Any other questions?
Did anybody have any questions for any of the speakers?
No, I just need everybody contact info.
Kelsey, you had a question? Yes,
So I was like looking for law. It's like I take business law.
Okay.
Well, is that like the proper course I should take for it?
So you're interested in law? And you want to take business law?
I take business.
You take business law in high school. Okay.
So this is truthfully speaking. No matter what you take, you're not gonna be prepared. Law school does not prepare you to be a lawyer. It's just a bunch of information given to you, and you sort through it and then take a test to prove that you can practice law. So you can take it and you'll kind of have some sort of advantage of knowing some information, which, you know, you're never really prepared for it. I'm sorry.
Honestly.
You know, like Emily Keating and all those people had me hyped to go, and I got there and I was like, this is not that. This is not that. I didn't know. It's a lot of reading. It's a lot of writing. It's comprehension. So if you comprehend well, you'll be fine.
I do want to comment on that, because you'll hear a lot of people say the exact same thing about accounting, so this is just, you know, to the in general. Take your studies serious still, because even though those studies are not gonna directly prepare you for the job, there are a lot of people in accounting who have never done accounting, who know accounting way better than me. But at the same time, there are a lot of those core principles and stuff that are always going to rear their head and always gonna come up, and you do need to know that. So still take your studies very seriously, no matter what you do, and actually learn the information. This is true. And be able to reference it or reference back to it relatively quickly. Because for one, you never know when the question's gonna come up. But two, it is gonna be relevant in your field, because I feel like that, I did it in the first couple of years of me working, I still believed it, but then after I began to work, I realized different. I feel like that was kind of like a misnomer when that was said to me over and over and over again. Know the first 4 chapters of accounting and you'll be okay. Not true.
Can I piggyback off what you're saying, Mark?
You said you're interested in history, and then you said you're thinking about being a lawyer as well, law too. And so you're in high school, you're taking a business law class. That's an excellent class to be taking right there, because when you talk taking a business law class, you're gonna go into different aspects of what you can be as a lawyer or as a history, and that's the history to a lot of background on law cases. You're gonna do a lot of case studying even at a high school level in that class. So that could open you up to a broad level of what it is to become a lawyer, because like she said, you'll never be prepared. But I'm quite sure as you got into it, there's different branches of being a lawyer, just like accounting. That's the title, but accounting, what you do can be here. Like she works for a cannabis company, but you got some works for hospitals, different things like that. And so you're talking about history and stuff like that in law. That's a great course that can set you up for maybe what you want to do and talking to other people, different aspects and stuff like that. I think that's a great course to take. And like she said, just take it serious, because you'll learn a lot of different things about law in itself, and in those case studies, different types of lawyers for different cases and stuff like that. So what type of lawyer you may want to be if that's the road you take.
I have a question. Can you help me to a bank?
Yes, I would love to.
What did you ask?
I asked her if she could help me sue a bank.
Okay.
Bank of America.
Oh, absolutely.
Everybody.
I think I've been
meaning.
meaning to ask you that, and I just be forgetting.
There's no problem.
Okay, cool. That's separate from what I wanted to still consult with you on business stuff. So that's separate, but I just was like, oh yeah, let me ask why it's on my head. Okay.
I have one daughter that is interested in accounting, and it's so hard to find different people in those different areas to really speak to you what these jobs really entail and what it's all about. So this is a blessing that you guys are here and you have this background. Can you just expound a little bit about what accounting is? And because I know that accounting covers a broad spectrum of things, just like law and medicine and that kind of thing. Can you just speak to a little bit about accounting and different areas of accounting?
Yeah, so accounting is very, very, very broad. I don't even think I can put enough varies on how broad accounting really is. So you have tax accountants, and that is 1,000% different than anything I've ever done. Then you can go into like auditing, you can go into public accounting, which is gonna take you, that you might go more tax, you may go audit. Then you go into industry. Now, every business needs an accountant, right? The basics of accounting are the same, right? You got your assets, they gotta be accounted for. Liabilities, they have to be pretty much categorized. That's the basis of accounting. But how that's done, depending on the business that you're in, that's where it varies in the nitty gritty of accounting. Then you also have like your different levels of accounting, because you have like people who are in AP versus AR, which is very different once you get into actual accounting, and then you get into like your controller roles or various higher level roles, shall I say. Then if you're doing accounting for a big company, it's a little bit more compartmentalized, and then your duties are a little bit more, like I said, compartmentalized. You're just doing this one aspect of accounting, versus if you're working in a smaller business or a startup company, you'll have your hands in a little bit of everything. So these are all things to take into account when you're thinking about accounting. They say, oh, you're good at math, you must go into accounting. No. Accounting is art. I always like to say accounting is art, because it's all about how you're gonna make the books look, and there's a lot of flexibility there. So if you can analyze the situation, you could be good in accounting. If you're not good at math, don't think I can't do accounting. That's just not the case at all. So,
If you like kids, you can go into accounting, you can do it at a school system. They have accountants everywhere. If you like cooking food, you can go be an accountant for a food company. You have accountants that also work in marketing, doing things like that. It's such a, really anything you do, find out what it is you want to do. Find out what it is you like. Do I like being around people? Do I want to work by myself? Do I want to be at home on a computer? Do I want to be in an office in front of people? Do I want to give presentations? Those things like that. It can seem tedious and overwhelming, but over time, you're young, take your time, sit, talk to your mom, just like what she's doing, what you're doing today. Keep doing these things, and just always though be aware of what it is that you really, really want to do and what you like. Because in anything, like in any industry, accounting or anything like that, you can mix and match. And
don't think that just because you're in a particular industry that the accounting is going to be necessarily more, it's going to be fun. Yeah, I work in cannabis, and it's fun from a company standpoint, but the work is just the work. Yeah. It's going to be it was the same as if I was working for a dental company. It's the same if I was working for a cleaning products company. The way I work is different, but the work is still the work. Mm-hmm. The industry, I mean, it's going to be more fun. I just want to make that clear.
You can create the fun yourself, though.
You have to create the fun yourself.
I have to, candy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Why are you looking at me like that? Okay. Now it's my turn.
It is.
So he running the event now. Okay. Right. Okay. Thank you to all of the speakers. That was wonderful, wonderful workshop. Very informative, because I learned a lot. I feel like it was a lot of shade being thrown. My YouTube channel, one called out my self-care issues, and the other one called me out for handwriting my training.
I said, don't be like Miranda when she was talking about. I was like, so basically, don't be like Miranda.
This whole thing was basically.
This is for you, Stephanie.
This was for me.
Don't be like Miranda.
But like she was saying, or like everybody was saying, make sure you outsource. If you do need an accountant, I do accounting for businesses through Evans Financial Solutions, and I do business tax returns. So definitely get with me, especially y'all too. I didn't talk to y'all. But you definitely want to outsource. Yoshiko is giving out free sessions. I need one of those a lot, especially with the fair use thing. I have issues. So thank you to everybody for coming. Feel free to get some more food, sandwiches, snacks, pens, notepads. Take all you want, so I don't have to put them in my car. And again, I don't know if you guys saw it, I took it down, but our gala, our 7th annual gala is going to be on May 6th. 7th annual, number 7. Okay. And shout out to Sharice for being there from the first one. March 4th. So thank you for attending, and I hope everybody gets home safely.
feel free to mingle. We still have like 45 more minutes in here, so.
I love it.
Let's play some music.
Cause I gotta go.
I was gonna say, everybody gonna have to do the session today. Yes, we have to, okay, we have to get a picture with, Stephanie, she said she gotta go. Oh, yeah.
I'm actually gonna meet Nicole. She's down here for her.
Oh,
really?
Was something burning? Zach, come take my picture. Come on, baby.
I'm more like I'm about to say Miranda needs. More like Melissa needs. I was trying to come up with
If you Miranda needs, you real bad.
I was trying to come up with an ill.
You collect way too much.
Zach, that was typical, you're right.
I heard that.
I'm taking these glasses off.
Thank you.
This is going in the history.
You gotta
books.
answer this
Amen.
Oh, we ain't here right.
Wait, oh, this is the iPhone. This is
Uh-oh.
Are you taking selfies?
No, I'm taking your pictures.
All right, let me see it.
Uh-oh.
Cause you know,
I
me
thought you had
and
your
them
Android.
going.
That's why I didn't take pictures.
Oh, you did me right.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, all right.
Oh,
I'm taking selfies with my phone, probably.
man, stop me. Oh, yeah. I forgot I was on YouTube right there. All right.
Okay, we three gotta take a picture.
That was smart.
Our annual picture. We missing you. We done missed a couple of
I
years.
know, I was like, is it annual still? I do.
Girl, it's a camera.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Mad
Oh, I was trying to swipe it. I was holding it and swiping it. I'm like, it ain't moving.
sheet.
What's
You got a
happening?
mad sheet.
All right. 1, 2, 3. All right. 1, 2, 3. All right. Now, got your.
What you trying to do? She trying
Exactly, what you got going on?
You know how I do. All
I
right.
was gonna say, I just kept
I
smiling.
know, just hold
What
it
you got
on.
going on?
Yeah.
Come on, let's take a picture.
Oh, cause I got on your merch.
Nah,
Please. I was gonna say, we gonna let Christian take the
I want my
picture.
phone back.
I don't know
It's
what
right
y'all.
behind you. It's right behind you. It's right behind you.
I'll take
Nah, you got the Android.
And the camera is way better. And the camera is way better. The camera is way better.
I vlog on Android. Who said that?
No, the camera is way better.
Who said that?
And I got the
professional has
and I got the
entered
22 Ultra.
Okay.
Yeah,
A professional has entered the
Yeah,
chat.
and then when you take a picture on his phone, you're gonna be like, ooh.
I thought that was the one with your
Yeah.
because I have an iPhone.
Yikes.
So.
1, 2. Oh, he looking at. Go ahead.
Exactly.
He looking at the phone.
1, 2, 3. Hold on, we got to do it in portrait mode. Hold on.
Look, even in portrait mode, look at that.
See, Android, you can take better pictures.
That camera look like it's from 2000 and,
No, it do not.
2007. Here.
See it? Y'all better not get my video. They didn't do that thing. Haters will say it's Photoshop.
Yeah. If it look like it's Photoshop,
Look.
it's great.
Oh, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Got my hands off. Nice meeting you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
See y'all next time.
Come on, Carol, hurry up.
How you gonna be rushing?
Good, so I told her to come on.
Hey, she.
One.
Wait, hold on. Let me see.
Exactly.
Yeah, because that other picture was.
Girl,
picture.
it wasn't nothing.
You took a picture?
Wait,
what?
Oh,
Oh.
Yeah, y'all did put it in the front. Yeah, but
One. Did he say the Android? I'm not gonna play it.
you can tell it was pixelated.
2. Next time, they got the program.
now he gonna get kicked out.
He got the program.
Come on, girl. Oh,
Yeah, I was like,
you in the picture? Oh, I didn't know we were still
1, 2, 3.
That's still ain't
I'ma
no
get
phone,
mine.
that's like an iPhone
Hold on.
10.
Camera, please.
Great cameras.
Wait,
I want you to get the back. Let me get the back of the.
Oh,
Of the
man.
hoodie. Let me get the back of the hoodie.
Oh, she did her photography.
He got something on his camera. Look at the camera.
Oh, yeah,
Bruh,
he got something
okay.
on there.
Nah,
Nah, but still.
even still.
I got real stuff. Well, my phone is, I'll take it to the lady.
No, you gotta get over there with her too.
Thank you.
No, they doing the,
Like I said, you take a
How
picture
you
with
doing?
Miranda.
Oh.
I want you to take a picture with Miranda.
I should say my big
Hoodie.
You welcome.
I love it.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, I like this. What's this?
Yeah, you see, like,
It's still
yeah,
better.
look at this.
That look like real time.
Yes.
Yeah, it's better.
No, this better.
That's a problem. Nah, bro.
Yeah, I think
That's a good
Never.
picture.
Let me see. Oh, I look thin. Oh, I like that.
She said, oh, I
You
look
got
good.
to send that around. I like that. Thank you. Oh, love that for
Yeah, I'm getting on my nerves.
Yes.
Huh?
Oh, thanks.
Oh, it's still on there?
Mm-hmm.
Why you getting red, man?
I couldn't.
It's a whole photo shoot. See, it look different.
Yeah, that look different, but it look, it's okay.
Look at that. Oh, Lord. That's crazy. I never knew how YouTube. Y'all are not cool.
What's that in Facebook?
Exactly. Like, y'all are not cool. It's the same. It works the same way, except you gotta slide like the when they comment, it pop up, but it go away. So you gotta slide it. And then you can, like, look at the comments like that. It's pretty much the same. Oh, that's a good picture.
Yeah, that's cool. That's a cute one. Mm-mm.
You didn't get no picture?
I love the picture.
I went here because
I got the pump. That was my only job today, bro.
Let me see. I can airdrop the
I did a
Mama, the
thing on
world
her.
don't need to see that.
Well, that's just, it's just Miranda. Baby, she gonna send herself out of the pictures, and then that way, she not touching those.
Okay.
I'm And then you can send your, you got it, baby?
Do you have one say?
I got a cute one.
You go? Oh, you need to talk to the police?
Go like this.
Where you going?
What you mean?
What you mean? What I mean?
Oh, man, I found an easier way to go up the thing. Y'all was trying to go carry the thing up the stairs when all you had to do was go down the garage. The same way I see y'all. We carried the thing up the stairs.
Why? You right there at the elevator.
Because I wanted to make that work for being late.
You were like
3 minutes, not even 3 minutes.
7. But you know what? It'll work. 4, 7.
Amen.
You penalized, you done.
Amen.
I keep trying to tell you that. That's how
My job, we don't even have a 1 minute.
Amen. I ain't gonna, hopefully I don't work for nobody.
Yeah, I got
And then you
it.
can send her picture.
Okay. Because I need all of me. I look real skinny.
I'm gonna give you all of you.
Thank you. No, I'm a email or message y'all.
Yeah, just text me that you just text me that you can hear me.
What if I was like, oh, just $1 million and you tell me to text you if I email? Ooh, you just lost $1 million. You're showing the video camera.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh my God. But I don't know what with all these.
Like, I know we did, like, they were out of, Tiffany, so how would she go about applying for just regular from the entrepreneurship project?
That's exactly what you're doing.
And so, trying to go through the emails on
like a voucher, what you help me get like information about money, like benefits you. I believe I have to send me an email.
Maybe look into, but this is just.
Yeah.
So it's just like, that's like.
Okay. She found this on, Eventbrite.
I did it like, actually a week ago.
Okay, it was a few names on there I didn't recognize, so I figured it, I might find out who they were. So email me at this email, and I'm gonna send you a form to fill out, and then, it'll like tell me like what exactly do you need for their help. Mentorship, you can also. So this Stephanie, we're all of
On my news.
so you gonna always, again.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Yes, ma'am. Whatever you want. It's just that's what the, yeah, for right now.
Art Carol.
All right.
But mentorship is always. So like, her daughter, her older daughter, Stephanie, the one who's from Mexico, both of them so within
That's my second call. Did you? That's my second call.
So I get your
And,
Bye, Miranda. Jump. Yes, that's my big girl. That's my big girl. That's my big girl. That's my big
I want all the kitties. I want all the kitties. Hey, did you guys find him in the end? Okay.
What you do? And I don't mind volunteering at kids.
I should say hi.
you know what I do.
You know what? 15?
I don't know, but you finna take, I don't know, you know,
I'll take him.
look at these, or this is for you?
No, that's all.
Being on camera,
I work remote and I work for. I take professional I have a little bit better work-life balance, but there are times when I'm working. It's not all the time. And if you do, decide to want to work out, you are going to work. It's not really no way around it.
This one.
Is that yours?
You want to have a family. And
This your pen? Where your pen at? Did you keep one? Here.
So you have to make sure.
Keep that one.
Is it a public accounting firm or what's the?
What color is she?
I mean, that's just
About this one. Is Christian. Is it blue? Is it blue? The brochures are hers. That's actually you see blue? Just a little bit.
Yeah, like a little bit.
That's a lot. Like this much?
Like that much.
This much?
Yeah.
Really? That much. What about this much? I think it's this much. This much. What about this much? That much? I could do it too. Sorry guys. And I want you to read both of them in assignments. You ain't got no choice. Read it aside, you read that one first and read that one second. Okay? You got how much on the blue? That ain't that long, you got 2 weeks. Gotcha. Alright? I got you.
I can't do it like that.
I can't do like this.
No.
Yeah, but we're like a month apart. Me and you. I'm trying to say yours.
Start, once you get a little bit.
She don't wanna pack this back up, but she gonna pack it back up. She just need to,
I can put them over in there.
yeah, well, in this bag, baby.
Yes, ma'am.
So this, is this yours or that's theirs? You just need your slip.
No, that's
Well, that's so nice of you to clean your spot up. That's great of Here it is right here. Oh, is that your books? Are those your books? Miss Miranda got it too? I just put the first 2 there. I'm sorry, baby. Oh, yes, go ahead. I'm gonna text you because
I did it.
like, okay, enough, I'm done. You can see it on her face, like, she's still taking these pictures, but I'm done.
What is it?
I don't know you like that.
I said let me see. Why y'all? I can't. Why y'all being
Supposed to be black on blue.
That's the only color I had.
Let me see. I got to decide it or I feel like everything.
You just have to sign it.
I fill out in the middle, however you want to do it.
I'm not gonna write these little boxes. Yeah, write this small.
No.
How many hours do you need?
One.
Well, I only can get one per week. I know, that sounds crazy.
But for how, one per week for how long?
6 weeks.
Until April.
You know somebody else?
So she only needs 6 hours.
But it's only one per week, so we gotta figure out one per week.
Oh, I can give you one per week. It could be
It's gotta be a different company, it's gotta be a different entity.
Does it have to be a nonprofit? I was gonna say, I got 3 already. Can it be like administrative, like say if I need her to do some work on the accounting?
I guess it could, can it? It should be able to, yeah.
Okay.
And then we just put the dates down one
I
per
was
week.
gonna say, well, I got 2. Cause I want Ed's Financial Solutions and Victoria Publishing.
That'll be awesome, thank you, Larry. We sure
Yeah.
appreciate that.
They'll put me
We're
down
trying
for
to
2
put our
weeks.
stuff back the way it was.
I'm like, you put me on the calendar for 2 weeks. And then you said you want to study. Did you take accounting? Are you taking accounting classes now?
I'm not.
But she's in the digital media program.
I'm in the digital media program with photography, but next year I'm going to hopefully get an internship in accounting.
I told you about that thing, I gotta send you oh yeah, you told about that, what's the name of that? Genesis Works, you heard of it?
Yep.
It's a Hispanic guy or something that started that program.
I've heard of it. Because I can do
Make a card.
accounting course class where you help me with my accounting for my business hours.
I guess it's
It might take longer than an hour. Still,
That's fine.
I was just saying, you can't really do accounting in an hour. Every hour. 1 hour a week is crazy.
It is, and that's what I said, it is for, and the thing of it is, for National Honor Society, you can go ahead and be inducted if you want the stones for your graduation day. She's telling them that they have to do it. And I said, you know, some people, because of the pandemic, have not gone back into volunteers. Some of them have to have, a background check, and then some of them you gotta fill out an application, but you can't tell them, oh, I only need 1 hour, 1 hour. Cause it's like, well, that's worth it, we don't need you. You know, it's more of a commitment. That's not what she is.
What, y'all in what?
11.
Cause y'all can apply for the scholarship. Literally just never told me on paper. She's like, cause I think we was like, oh, she's like, you know,
That's what I'm saying.
They have to think, but you gotta, I'm still trying to find my taxes from last year. I done put the forms down and then filed my taxes for last year. Where does this go back?
you can put it in one of those.
You hear me? I'm fixing
I
it
gave,
up.
Kelsey got rid of time. You gotta be done with both of them.
I don't understand it. I'm not understanding it.
I didn't get him.
Meet me outside, come on.
A little bit.
Come on, meet me outside, come on. No, I'm gonna show you, come on. You can't whoop me. You can.
She says she can't kill me.
So, I gave a lot of it away.
Look right here, baby.
She's still alive.
Is she?
And I'm like,
I didn't think so. Was she?
Yeah, I think
Oh, really? You still walking on this? I think she is.
yeah, she's still alive.
I got a TV console.
Tell me your name again.
Kelsey.
No, tell me your name again.
My name's Kelsey.
No, I'm talking about what you just did last time.
What did I say the last time? It's Kelsey.
This is Kennedy.
I'm talking about tell me your name. Like, okay, this is what I'm trying to.
My last name?
No, yeah.
You want my last name?
Yeah.
What's your last name?
Let me Smith.
Smith. Mine is Robinson.
My dad's name is Travis Smith.
Your middle name's May?
Yeah. So I have Love May.
Mine is Kelsey Lynn.
Kelsey Lynn.
Yeah.
You mean her middle name? Yes, that's her middle name.
Yeah.
What's her name?
Her middle name's Elise.
You mean like Aaliyah?
No, Elise.
Elise?
Elise.
Why her name is Elise?
I don't know. My mommy named her that.
What's her mom's name?
Veronica.
Veronica?
Yeah.
What's your sister's name?
This one?
Or 6. And it's new. I guess it just happened this past week. So I got to go.
So really go after
I seen the new little monthly payment thing, and I said, oh, let me go look and see, because I was gonna try to test the theory. But if you do the monthly payment, it don't let you skip that first payment. You gotta actually put the money. You gotta put that first one down. And I was like,
So tell me, I love your boots.
Thank you.
I love the colors. Let me see them. I love the colors on your boots. Are you going to the rodeo?
No.
Okay, so, well, maybe not the rodeo. Do you think you may go to the carnival at all, or is that just too many people? That's a lot of people, though, isn't it?
But I was sure you're not gonna be that bad.
I didn't think that I would be going this year at all.
but see, if I would have been in a deep sleep, that probably would have happened. But I was literally like, I'd be fighting my sleep, so it's like I was.
Yeah, there's a lot of people out there.
I told them to keep it down low. I told them to keep it down low.
Very good. That's what you had to ask them to do. Sometimes I think we just get a little excited when we're talking, and our voices will tend to elevate a little bit. Not intentional, but it does. You know? Yeah. So I think that that's what happens. But in her boots,
I
pretty.
don't think so. I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so that all of the people are so loud, and it makes more sense than that Palapios.
Be careful with that so we don't get it stepped on.
Yeah, the company has to have a much run it up. I'm gonna be at work. I'll be putting stuff in the back.
On what?
In New York and Company, come on, mama. I used to work in New York and Company. I was a store manager. Man, we be doing that little sale. I be putting stuff on the I be scanning. All for next year. Yeah, company. Be like, I just made. But it's sort of me.
Well, you know what? Before they closed that shop in the village.
Mm-hmm.
They have. Yeah, they have.
Yeah, and that's why
I
we
was
all
so surprised.
Rice Village, because that whole it's like the women in Rice Village ain't want to shop in the clearance section, so everything would just keep going down and be able to. That's why they be closed. Rice Village.
All right, y'all.
Bye. Have a good day. Oh, so Bank of America. So really, I was involved in the scamming. Okay. And so the little girl asked me, because she didn't have no bank account or whatever. She was like, hey, my boyfriend wanted his money. Like, he used to play the little video games. Like, I guess he would do like the gaming competitions or whatever.
Okay, yeah.
But they paid through Zelle.
Okay.
And what else was a lie they told me. And it might not have been a lie, it might have been true.
Okay. And so she was like, hey, if I sell you the money, can you cash up it to me? And I was like, yeah, that's fine. And I did it like once. Everything was fine, didn't happen. Which, like I said, that's what I thought was happening.
Yeah.
And she worked with me, like she was one of my coworkers at Temple. She was a security guard. So, I didn't not trust her, per se. But, I was like, okay. And so she did it again. Everything was fine. And so the last time she did it, she didn't tell me. I guess she just transferred the money or whatever. She didn't tell me, and I just so happened to like be checking my stuff, and I was like, "Dang, where does money come from?"
Yeah.
And I seen like, okay, it was a bill from him. Let me catch it. So I was like, "Hey, next time you
tell
me know, I don't know." And so that last Zelle was from the first person that had Zelle like months and months ago. Well, I guess he decided he didn't want to pay it after the fact, like months later. And he said, he basically told his bank, he told Wells Fargo that all the transactions from this day to this day wasn't here. So I just so happened, I'm doing something one day. I'm in Lowe's, my card declined. So I'm like, what's happening? I want my card declined. I got money. Like, what's happening? Nope. They had took $1,500. Like, they reversed $1,500. And like, I hadn't got paid yet. So I was like, like the money was gone. Yeah. So I was like negative, like, I think I was negative like $1,200. Because I think I had like $300 in the bank or something like that. So I'm like, man, what is going on? So I'm looking. They had reversed it from way back. All it said was a reverse Zelle payment. And I'm like, well, okay, let me call customer service. I talk to customer service. They're like, oh, well, let us work to get the money back, blah, 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 blah. After they did the investigation, everything, they were like, oh, we can't give you that money back because that was from Zelle, and Zelle took that back. You need to call Zelle XYZ. But every time you Zelle somebody, it says, you will not be able to get your money back. Are you sure you want to send this to so-and-so? And I've screenshotted that. Like, I'm with Frost now. Yeah. But I've screenshotted that because Zelle tell you you can't get your money back. Yeah. So I'm like, okay. So when the lady finally, because they went into like a deep investigation of it, and finally the lady said, okay, this is who it came from. This is their bank. That's how I found out it was Wells Fargo and who the dude was. I was like, oh, I think that got something to do with the girl coworker. Yeah. So I called, and she's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like, he's gonna call and get it fixed and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, all right. So the boyfriend called the dude, and he's like, oh man, he basically tried to play it off. Man, my bad. No, I didn't know they put that in there. Like, but somebody hacked my account and this and this. Now the whole time I'm recording them. Yeah. So I have like the audio recording of the boy saying, I didn't mean to do that. Da, 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 da. I'll fix it. I'll call the bank on Monday. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, all right, cool. So I call Bank of America and I'm like, hey, I have audio recording that this is what the guy said. He said he didn't mean to do it, blah, blah, blah. He's gonna call his bank. It was Wells Fargo, which they had already told me that. Right. And the lady was like, all right, cool. Nothing happened after that. So my account is steadily going negative. Correct. I had a savings account with them. Next thing you know, they start taking money out of my savings account. I'm like, y'all, exactly. So I'm like, hold on. Y'all done took my money. Agreed to, exactly. And then y'all supposed to be figuring it out anyway. But then you gonna tell me to call Zelle? Like, that's a Zelle problem. That's not a Zelle problem. That's a y'all problem because y'all gave the money back. For sure. Well, really, it's the dude, Wells Fargo. That money shouldn't have been given back if Zelle say you can't get your money back after you send it. So now I got Bank of America emailing me. Oh, well, you still got an outstanding balance with us that need to be paid. And I'm like, well, y'all didn't took my savings account. I had to, like, y'all, they left $5 in my savings account. Not to hold it open. Girl. $5. Not man, if y'all in that savings account, y'all left $5 in my account. They took like $800 on my savings account. Just, y'all left $5 in there. And I had just opened the savings account because I was like, man, I need a savings account. Correct. Open it. Y'all took all my money. All I only do is $100 when I get back. Either like $100 a month, like I just. So yeah, so that's where I'm at with it. Okay. And I told my mom, I was like, man, I'm gonna sue Bank of America. I feel like they weren't supposed to take my money on my savings, which they sent a letter after the fact saying, oh well, yeah, like this, your money is gone. We took it because you had an account that was negative X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, they could do that, but I mean, they notified me, like I said, after the fact, that they took it. But just as far as the payment being reversed, like, nah. Still, that wasn't the right thing to do. Exactly, and especially if they'll say you can't get your money, back. Like, why did you reverse that? Because that should be on his end. That's another on his end. Correct. So how does it work? So do you think?
You still got the letter? I would need to know the terms and conditions of the bank account and the savings account. Do you still have, like, when you opened it, like the letter or the email or what they said when you opened the account?
The banking and checking? I'm sure I do. I don't never throw away stuff, but I just opened a regular checking account, but I have been having that account since, I have been with Bank of America since 2011 or 2012. So I've had the same account.
Yeah.
So that was the first time I had really had any problems with it. But I'm sure I still have the folder and
I thought they
everything.
mismanaged money.
Really? See, now Wells Fargo,
Bank of
I know,
America is scammer.
bro, but see, I knew Wells Fargo was like that because I had Wells Fargo. I've been in 3 of their class action lawsuits and gotten checks from all 3 of them because I used to get paid. I would get paid Friday morning. That money was gone when it got into the bank. I'd be like negative like $2,000-$3,000 for somebody in Costa Rica, or like, girl, I'm for real. And then I'd go in the bank and they'd be like, oh, let's fix that for you. Boop, there go your money. Get paid again. Somebody in Nicaragua, then that I'm like, who's taking my money? I'm talking about whole check gone. My check wasn't even $3,000, but I'm negative $3,000. And I'm like, man, what is happening? I gotta get, I need gas, I need this.
It's rent.
But you know, like, and I'll be like, I go back into the branch. My money gone. I don't know what's happening. X, Y, Z. Oh yeah, man, let us fix that for you. Boop, money there. Who the hell taking my money? Like, I need a new account at this point because obviously it ain't my card. I didn't get me 5 cards, bro.
Here.
Yeah, taking the money.
Wells Fargo, they got a documentary on Netflix for doing that.
Yep. And so I have gotten 3 checks from them from that time period because that was 2008. That was like 2007 to like 2010. I got 3 checks from them from class action lawsuits for them stealing money. Like each time they have sent me that little, oh yeah, you were a customer between this day, and our files show that you were missing money and this and this. I check it and send it right on back. Months later, here come a check. So I don't trip. I didn't got 3 checks from them.
Well, they don't have no issue paying. It's Bank of America who do not want to pay people their money. When I had Bank of America, they would allow transactions to go through and move my money around to cover transactions, and then I wouldn't have money. So I would make purchases maybe a day before my payday. When I get paid, they're using money from my check to cover those transactions. I had money in there for those transactions. Why are you moving my money around to cover? Because then where did that money go? That was allotted for those transactions. Where did that money go?
Yeah. So basically, somebody got my money.
Correct. So Bank of America is good for that.
See, I've never had that problem with them. Like, outside of this was my only problem with them. And I was just like, if I gave y'all the recording, because I want to say, oh no, I asked the lady, I was like, how do I get y'all the recording? Like, I had the recording of the man saying he didn't mean to do that or X, Y, and Z. And she was like,
Because did he ever call his bank?
I don't know, I guess not. Because it went to the point where he was supposed to call his bank on Monday. My coworker and her boyfriend, the dude told me, he was like, man, Christian, he was like, I'm so sorry. Like, if he don't take care of it, like, I'll give you your money back. And I'm like, all right, cool. Like, I ain't tripping because, like I said, I trusted them to the point, like, they used to come to my house. Yeah. Like, and they were younger than me, so it's kind of like I kind of take care of them a little bit. But it's like, never on no, like, money or nothing like that because they were good on that. But it was like, we had formed like one of those like little relationships, and I would do stuff for them and they do stuff for me. Like, just, if you think that's like you, like, that's like my little sister, like, I'm gonna take care of you. And so he was like, yeah, no, I'll give you the money back if you don't, you know, fix it or whatever. No worries. He was like, I'll just transfer it to your account. Like, no worries. He's like, I'll take care of it. I was like, all right. That was the week they were supposed to be going on a cruise, which I was like, you know what, y'all going on a cruise, don't worry about it. When y'all come back, we'll take care of it. Correct. Because that's the type of person I am. I was like, you know, it is what it is. And I've always been like that. So, like, the level of doing wrong, that's nothing. Because I done been over the river and through the woods. Yeah. And most time, I just charge to the game and keep moving, which I did with this. Charge to the game. Kept it moving. And so, I guess it got to that point. The Lord said, touch not my anointed either. Don't do that. COVID because they got COVID from the cruise. Damn. When they docked in Galveston, the popos that pick him up, he spent He spent 2 months in Galveston County before he got transferred here.
That was you. Cause somebody hugged me and it was stuck on me and I was like, damn, it's still good. No, it's, I don't know if it's still on the hoodie, but it's on my shirt. No, it's on my shirt. Cause I was like, who hugged me? Like,
I don't know, it's on perfume I got from Ross, but when I went there, I was like that, cause you know, white girls got like that beachy, like, it's a certain smell that only white girls can pull out. So, yeah.
that girl say beachy.
They do beachy and florals.
You should, if you.
I got on God is a Woman, that Ariana Grande.
They say
Her stuff is like all three of hers.
No pads? I had told Carol to ask you.
Huh?
It does. You said no?
You know what?
You don't need those no pads? I told Carol to ask you if you need them for church.
No pads, no. She ain't coming.
You know what? Did you need them for church? Or did the kids?
The people said it did not last.
Oh, I think to you,
It's
Trash.
lasting on you.
Huh?
The people said they do not last. It's lasting on you because we'd have been here all day.
The
Ariana Grande, yes.
You know what? This is the first time that it has, because when I wore it a couple of days ago, when I first got it, and I told my nanny to smell it. I told my nanny to smell it, and then it was real faint, but I only sprayed like one. You know, I just did the little, and I was
Oh,
done.
no, I be over spraying. I be taking the back.
Now,
No,
now,
Lord, I can't handle it.
when I realized that it wasn't, you know,
Giving.
it wasn't giving, I was, and I think it does better on clothes.
Yes.
Because I
It
heard
smells better on clothes.
but it, I just
It smells really, really good.
girl, you ain't ended this live.
That's what she just said. Now they done heard our whole
Girl,
conversation.
I was like, the whole, hey y'all, but I don't know who else still on here. Tamika talking about Bank of America trash. Tamika, they some hoes, okay? Somebody put, we still alive. All right, y'all. Bye, Narissa. Bye, Tamika. I'm pretty sure y'all the only two still on here. So, yeah. But bye, y'all. I love y'all. See y'all later. I don't know how to end it. Nope, I don't know how to end it. Yep. I think